2,000 gallons of water for the waterfall, but it didn't make the show. But the Michigan Wolverines are going to make the show with a record of 8-2-1. Bo Schembechler in his 20th season at Michigan with a record of 183-45-5 as the head coach of the Wolverines, and they come in ranked 11th in the national poll. Now here come the Pac-10 champions, the Southern California Trojans. They're ranked 5th in the national polls, record of 10-1. Larry Smith in his second successive appearance in the Rose Bowl. Overall, it is Southern California's 26th appearance. And joining me now, Bob Greasy. Bob, you've seen these two teams now a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, actually, during the course of the season. You've been in this pressure cooker yourself back in the 60s with the Purdue Boilermakers. Who's going to win this ball game and how?
Well, Bo Schembechler has said in the opening that he likes to run the ball for 250 yards a ball game, but I don't think that's going to be the case today. If Michigan is going to win, I think they're going to have to throw for that much. Southern Cal's defense against the run is number 2 in the country, so you don't figure that Michigan's going to be able to run as well as they'd like to. And I think the pressure is going to be on the quarterbacks. Demetrius Brown, who started the last 2 ball games, when Michael Taylor, who had started the first 9 ball games, was injured. I think either one of those quarterbacks is going to have to put some points on the board to win the ball game.
With all the planning and everything about it, a turnover here and there can throw all of those good plans out the window.
Exactly. And for Southern Cal, I think it all rides in their offensive line. In the Notre Dame loss, Notre Dame did a lot of line slants and a lot of blitzing and exposed some weaknesses in the Southern Cal offensive line. They need that offensive line to trigger their running game and also to give Rodney Peete some time. So it's all in the offensive line for Southern Cal.
All right, now let's go down to the field as we prepare for the toss of the coin. The referee is Gordon Reese, as Jack Bicker, the president of the Tournament of Roses. Shirley Temple Black is standing by his side.
Shirley Temple Black is going to flip the coin. We're going to let it land on the ground. Whatever comes up, that's the person who wins the toss. Got it? Who's my spokesman over here? You are? All right. There you go.
I'm not going to do it that way. It's too big.
I got it. University of Michigan has won the toss. You can pick receiver, defender, go. You want to do first, right?
The Michigan Wolverines have won the toss. Sounded like Mark Messner said, we want to kick it.
USC will receive.
So they will kick it, and Southern California will receive it. And we're very close now to getting game number 75 in Rose Bowl history underway. Let's join Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, there'll be one noticeable absentee in the SC starting lineup offensively. Junior tailback, number 24, Aaron Emanuel, is not in the starting lineup, that is. He is in Larry Smith's doghouse after what they call a week of lackadaisical practices. Several members of the coaching staff told me that they were very disappointed with Aaron's mental attitude coming into this game. So number 34, Ricky Irvins, will start. Now, Emanuel's far too valuable to keep on the bench, so he will play, and he will play a lot. Coach Larry Smith is very hopeful that number 24 is ready to answer the challenge against the Michigan's Wolverines. Keith?
All right, Mike, thanks very much. As we noted, the weather could not be better. I mean, it's just glorious day with the temperature probably going to get up close to 70 degrees before the afternoon starts to cool off. Crystal clear. Turf firm. Not exceptionally fast, but very dry. Bo Schembechler missed his first trip with a heart attack. Larry Smith, the head coach of Southern California now, was on the Michigan staff at that time. Jim Young took over and was effectively the game coach the day that Bo missed back in 1970. But Larry Smith was a key member of that staff. So, in effect, this will be his 3rd trip into the Rose Bowl, and so far he's 0 for 2. Southern California will send Calvin Holmes, Scott Lockwood, and Ricky Irvins deep as this young man, Mike Gillette, out of St. Joseph, Michigan. An exceptional athlete. He does the punting, he does the place kicking, and once in a while he'll take off and run 35 or 40 yards for you. So he has had a wonderful career at Michigan and could very well be an important personality in the game today. The overall series record between these two: to go. It is Ricky Irvin. Out to the 27-yard line. That's where Southern California will go to work. Now what do we get? Do we get something fancy right out of the blocks, or do we start out probing and poking and fiddling around?
Well, I think what they're going to try to do is really go after them early, maybe test them deep, because against Notre Dame, they were not able to throw the ball deep as much as they want, and I think today they may try to go deep and go very early.
Irvins will be the tailback. Leroy Holt is the fullback, and Rodney Peete lines up under center healthy for the first time in several weeks. The coaches both said, we don't want to dance early, we want to go early, and let's see what happens. Peete straight back and sets up down the middle. Half-holter, just a fraction too long. So they send him on a fly at David Key, and if the ball is thrown inside instead of outside, it's a big play.
I don't care how good a quarterback you are, and Rodney Peete is certainly a good quarterback. You've got to be a little nervous on the first play of the ball game.
Jackson and Half-holter are the wideouts for Southern California. Up front, and these are the big people, and we think will be very prominent today. Guerrero, Barnes, Leggett, Tucker, Parkinson with Galbraith starting at tight end. 2nd and 10. Southern California from the 27 and give it away to Irvin to the 30 for a 3-yard pickup. The Michigan defense, Bob, going to have to move around some today to offset their disadvantage in both.
They're not big enough to just stand there and fight them. White, Osman, and Messner, very quick, but not big defensive linemen as you're used to seeing from Michigan.
The backers are Marshall, Anderson, Spencer, Abrams. And the secondary, normally in a conservative posture, Arnold, Welburn, Murray, and Key. They've already thrown one at Key. On 3rd and 7, Peete to throw it. Whips it to the sideline. Half-holter across the 40. He's got a first down. On 3rd down conversion, Southern California is at 57% on the season, and that's one of the big reasons why they're 10-1.
And they rank first in the Pac-10 in making first downs out of 3rd downs. The first 3 plays of the ball game, 2 of them have been passes to Half-holter on number 26, David Key. That would tell me something right there.
Ball is just over the 40, and it's a first down for the Trojans. Michigan shows a 4-man front. Half-holter goes in motion, and Peete sends Irvin into the sack. Can't get away. Number 94, T.J. Osmond, Jr. from Pittsburgh, makes the tackle for the Wolverines.
T.J. Osmond stopped it for a loss.
The loss is back to the 38-yard line.
Michigan's defense led the Big Ten in total defense, and as Bo Schembechler has said many times, you win the Big Ten championship with defense, and he was the #1 defense in the league.
David Arnold comes up, eyeball to eyeball with John Jackson at the bottom of the screen. Peete looks the other way, goes the other way. Half-holter stretches out and pulls it in. 6'1", 190. Well, they get preoccupied when you keep throwing to one guy. The secondary just instinctively has got to fudge that way a little bit. That's going to free up Jackson on the fly side.
Well, what they're doing is just a 3-deep zone, very conservative to start the ball game. Half-holter has Key one-on-one, and they've completed 2 of the 3 passes that they've thrown that way.
Wellman, who is the real speedster on the only real true speed on the outside for Southern Cal, is now in the ball game. Half-holter comes over to his side to join him, and Peete rolls it that way. And turns it upfield. Little lob to Wellman. And you got a penalty flag, and I don't know if, I think Rodney might have been past the line of scrimmage.
Yes, he was.
It was close, but I think he was a step across. He was. The opening possession of the 75th Rose Bowl game. The referee, Gordon Reese. Mixed crew today, 4 Pac-10ers, 3 Big Teners. The umpires out of the Big Ten, Robert Pickens. Bob Beal of the Pac-10, the head linesman.
Illegal, forward pass, offense. Penalty includes loss of down. Be fourth down.
Thomas Hoffman out of the Big Ten, the line judge. Colin McDermott, Pac-10 field judge. Side judge is Bob Colburn of the Big Ten, and Robert Rao is the back judge out of the Pac-10. Loss of down is indicated by Gordon. That brings up fourth down, and Chris Spurl is in the punt with John Colasar deep for Michigan. Remember that dramatic effort by Colasar in the final possession to win the Ohio State game. Spurl hits a pretty good kick back to the 15-yard line of Michigan, and that's where the Wolverines will have it for their opening possession with no score in the game. Now it's the Wolverines' turn. First down at their own 15-yard line, and they will come up now. The biggest man along their offensive front, of course, is Greg Strepanak, a big sophomore of 320 pounds. The opening fullback is Jared Bunch, not Leroy Horde. Tony Bowles is the deep man, and they go to Bunch, and Bunch punches and doesn't get much out of it as the Trojans roll him up and reel him back. The starting quarterback for Michigan is Demetrius Brown. Took over when Michael Taylor was hurt. Leroy Horde will be in there most of the day at fullback. Tony Bowles will see it a lot at tailback. John Colasar and Greg McMurtry, the wideouts. It is Brown at tight end with Doring, Dingman, Vitale, Huzar, and Strepanak along the offensive front. Call it a loss on the play of about 2 yards. Second down, 12 from the 13. Brown gives to Bowles. And Bowles broke the first tackle and moves it out across the 20. Defensively for the Trojans, they line up this way, and the three down guys are pretty good. Ryan, Gibson, Owens. Backers are Williams, Ross, Chesley, and Hartzyker. A lot of substituting there, too, today. Hale, Butts, Carrier, and Spears in the secondary. Hale is the one at about 5'9", and he might be a target when Michigan decides to go to the air. Horde is in now in the backfield for the Wolverines. Third down and 5. And Demetrius Brown, the left-hander from Miami, breaks out of the pocket, gets the first down, and runs it up to the 32-yard line. Chris Hale brought him down.
Demetrius Brown came in the eighth game of the year when Walker was injured. Had a tough year last year, throwing 16 interceptions. Has not thrown an interception so far this year. This was not a quarterback draw, just too much pressure in the pocket. Demetrius takes off and picks up the first down.
Now a move that I haven't seen this year. The tailback's out of there, and two fullbacks are in there as Bo puts Leroy Horde in with Jared Bunch, and it's Horde who lines up in the tailback spot. On first down, Brown, play action to the flat. Pass is good. Colasar. And the senior from Westlake, Ohio, is finally brought down by Tracy Butts as he crosses midfield.
Let's go ahead. Let's watch Colasar. He's going to come across the formation. Play action fake. The inside man's going to run a little bit to the outside. Nice throw over the linebacker's head and a nice pickup.
Bowles is back into the lineup now. 21-yard pickup. Bo Schembechler said, we want to get on top. We want to score first. We don't want to have to play from behind. Callaway in motion. Handed off to the fullback. And Horde pops it in there to the 45 and falls close to the 44 with Ernest Spears getting the tackle. Horde's big ball game of the year was in a crucial in the conference play against Indiana. He had two 54-yard runs.
He had two big ball games right at the end of the year, and because of his running skill from the fullback position, Bo Schembechler has moved him to tailback and is letting him play there some of the time also.
It is second down, about 7, and this is Tony Bowles bouncing outside. Great speed and a good tackle by Chris Hale. Shakes up Chris a bit on the play, but if he doesn't get a piece of him going by, he might still be running.
There are 5 all Pac-10 players on this defensive team for the Southern Cal Trojans. Carrier, the free safety, and Scott Ross, the linebacker. Owens and Ryan, well, I guess there's only 4. I didn't count too well. Well, Coulter, Cleveland Coulter, who is the strong safety, but injured for this ball game. 5 defensive players on the all Pac-10.
So far, 4 different people have run the ball for Michigan. Third down and 4. Brown back. Down the middle, goes with it. A good sharp pass, and it's right on the marker. Caught by the fullback Horde, and it'll be close to a first down. Scott Ross, the inside backer, picked up the fullback and brought him down, but it's close enough, I think, for the change to come on.
Very close to a first down.
And so we do see a little different look in the Michigan offense early, don't we?
Take a look at the linebackers for Southern Cal. 35 is Scott Ross. Closest to us at the bottom of your screen, sees it all the way. Horde goes up and makes the reception. And it's going to be close for a first down.
Got it. At the Southern California 38-yard line, first down for Michigan. And 4 substitutes onto the field, including Jeff Brown returning with Walker leaving at tight end. Callaway comes back. McMurtry comes out. Munch and Horde will line up in the backfield. Bowles is out of there right now. It is Horde. Big hole right side. Inside the 30, close to another first down. I think he's got one. This man on this side has marked him at the 29. He'll be a yard short.
Just fine blocking up front on the right side of the Michigan line. We mentioned the all Pac-10 players for Southern Cal on defense. Michigan's offense has 2 Big Ten players in the offensive line, John Vitale and Mike Huzar, the right guard and the center, opening the hole on that play.
Walker is back in at tight end. Callaway goes in motion. Second down and 1. Hand off to Horde. Goes for the first down and looks like he may have it. You're not going to make a living running up the middle, I don't think, against Southern California.
There's no way you can continue to run up the middle, but Schembechler, as he told us yesterday or the day before when we spoke to him, he's not going to go away from what got him here. Yes, he's going to use the entire playbook. He's going to try all the gimmicks and gadgets. He's got them all in the game plan. If he needs them, he'll use them, but he's not going to go away from his bread and butter of all year, and that's been running the football.
Leroy didn't get a friendly mark on that one. They go to a wishbone now on third down and about 2 feet. Hand the ball off to Horde, and behind the right side surge, that's Vitale, Huzar, and Skrepanak, and he's got the first down as he moves just inside the Trojan 25.
You know, Michigan's offense really was more dominant in the Big Ten than Michigan's defense. I mentioned Michigan's defense leading the Big Ten in total defense, but that was all. Michigan's offense led in total offense, rushing offense, points scored, third down efficiencies, fewest giveaways. They were an outstanding offense and really carried this club all year.
That's Colasar in motion this time. Brown gives it to Tony Bowles, and Bowles just lowers his shoulder and rams to the 22. That's a pickup of about 3 yards.
You know, sometimes the better your offense is and the longer it stays on the field, the more it can protect your defense. And Bull Schembechler told us the other day that his defense this year was really not a great defense. It was a good defense, but he's had a lot better defensive ball clubs.
USC 22-yard line.
Second down and 7. Colasar back to the wide side of the field. Brown hands it off. Bowles caught behind the line of scrimmage. Great play by Dan Owens, one of the down linemen for Southern California.
Both defensive teams like the slant. We'll show you what we mean by slanting. Here's Owens right here. Normally he would go straight into this man, but watch him slant to the inside, and as they try to cross block, the offensive linemen are going to miss him. See him slant to the inside, 75. Skrepanak tries to get him. That's a perfect example of teams like the slant, not going straight ahead, but veering to the right or left to mess up the blocking assignments.
It'll be third down and 13 with the ball resting at the USC 28. Callaway, Colasar, both in now as wideouts. And that's Callaway going in motion. That gives him 3 wideouts. Brown with a short drop, runs into trouble. Hartsacker, number 40. Craig got him. Outside linebacker.
Hartsacker came into the ball game with 7 quarterback sacks. Number 40, he's blocked by the tight end Walker, but not well enough, as Southern Cal was slanting and blitzing 2 of their linebackers, and Hartsacker made the play.
Mike Gillette is on the field with his kicking tee. Gillette, who has 56 field goals in his career. That's the best in Michigan history. The holder is Ken Solom, a quarterback. Gillette's kick is away, going left, just cut inside. 49 yards for Mike Gillette. And the Michigan Wolverines do break on top to lead it 3-0 at 4:13 in the first quarter. The two coaches, Larry Smith and Bo Schembechler, prowling the sidelines as Gillette hits a 49-yard field goal to put Michigan in front 3-0 on their opening possession. And USC used up a goodly bit of the clock in their first possession. And Michigan came right back and marched it down the field. 13 yards, covered 53 yards with 4 different people carrying the ball. Now Gillette's going to kick it off. There are 3 tailbacks deep to receive it for Southern California. 21 is Calvin Holmes, 41 is Scott Lockwood, and 34 is Ricky Irvin.
Mike Gillette will kick off for Michigan. Deep to receive for USC, Scott Lockwood, Ricky Irvin, and Calvin Holmes.
Hooks this one away to the other side where Lockwood has it. And Scott Lockwood burns it all the way up to the 35. This is what Rodney Peete told me when I asked him how he wanted to go at Michigan early in the ball game.
We feel like we can run if we run right at them. I think we have to mix it up. We're going to go in the game. We're going to try to be balanced. We think we can also hit some big plays on them in the passing game. But I think going into the game, we're going to have to pound them and find out who's going to be the more physical football team. I think it's going to be a very physical game, and we're going to see what happens when we try to run the football.
On first down from the 34-yard line, Peete gives it to the tailback, and into the middle goes Irvin. Ricky Irvin is 5'8", 190-pound sophomore, and he's playing in his hometown, Pasadena. Called the pickup 2 yards. Affolter and Wellman now will come to the bottom of the picture as wideouts. Irvins is at the top of the picture. They go that way, and Ricky pulls it down, and he is thrown down just about the time the ball got there. Fortunate, perhaps, that he's able to retain it. Brought down, looked like number 37, Eric Anderson, a linebacker, hit him. The Sugar Bowl follows us, USF&G Sugar Bowl from New Orleans, the Dome. The Florida State Seminoles ranked 4th in the nation against the Southeastern Conference champion Auburn Tigers. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan Deerdorf will be in New Orleans for the ball game. 3rd down and 5 now for Southern California. Peete rolls it out. Pressure trying to set up the screen, and it didn't work as the pressure got to him. 3 Wolverines were after him, and that's the first example of the idea that the Michigan defensive people have today.
Michigan watched a lot of the Notre Dame Southern Cal game where Notre Dame blitzed Southern Cal a great deal, got in the face of Rodney Peete, put a lot of pressure on him, and they said, we're not going to do it exactly the same way that Notre Dame did, but we're going to make sure we get some pressure on him.
Colasar standing back at his 20, waiting Chris Burrell's punt on 4th down for SC. Michigan leading 3-0. And 2:50 to go first quarter. The kick is away. It's a beauty. Oh, I mean to tell you, that is a real beauty. It takes a sideways hop, coming back up the field. What a punt by Spurl, dead at the 1. I mean, he threw that thing in there like a good solid 7-iron, jerked it back, and killed it at the 1. I mean, that's inside the leather. Give it to him. 60-yard punt, no return. And yes, the mountains in Southern California do get snow. I'll tell you one thing, old Chris Burrell can't do it any better than he just did. He hit it 60 yards and killed it on the Michigan one, and the Wolverines have got to snap the ball to the quarterback standing in his end zone. They lead 3-0 and hand it off inside, and the fullback is rolled back. They're asking for a safety. They don't get it. They're going to give his forward progress out near the 2. I thought the right side of the Southern Cal line might have been a little quick. Owens, but
there was some movement there. But let me tell you, Spurl has just made 11 new friends. Everybody on that defensive team is going to give him a pat on the back for that punt.
Ball is near the 2. It is second down. Call it 9. And Demetrius Brown is still standing in his end zone for the snap. They got Ross up on the front. Brown's going to throw it out of the end zone. And it's caught. Beautiful catch by Greg McMurtry, and an even better throw by Demetrius Brown.
This would not have happened last year. Can you believe Bo Schembechler throwing out of his own end zone to Demetrius Brown, who threw 16 interceptions last year? Bo said he has matured. He is much more disciplined. He has played in 4 ball games this year. He has 5 touchdowns and no interceptions, and Bo lets him throw to McMurtry, number 1, out of his end zone, and that is a big, big first down.
McMurtry is 6'3". Chris Hale is only 5'9". Well, he got the matchup in size that they wanted, and it worked. And this is Horde carrying the ball. And on first down, he won't get anything. Walker goes back in at tight end. Bowles goes back in at running back. Jared Bunch comes out. Jeff Brown comes out. So they're moving a lot of people in and out of the ball game for Michigan. Callaway is also out. Brown now 3 out of 3 for 41 yards and 3 first down. Second down and still about 10. And Demetrius straight back. Good protection. Now he's in trouble. Sacked all the way back inside the 5 by Tim Ryan. And he should have thrown it away, and he didn't.
Well, this was a screen pass. The offensive linemen get tied up and can't get out to their responsibility. It's going the other side, and Ryan just keeps coming. You saw right there, Brown faked with his left hand because there was a linebacker out in the screen by that time, and he took the sack.
All the way back to the 4, so that'll make it third down and 24. May not get the snap. They do. Last play of the first quarter. Brown out of the end zone. Pressure by Ross. Throws it as far as he can. Colasar over his head. Coverage by Mark Carrier. And the first quarter is over. And so after the first 15 minutes of the 75th Rose Bowl game, it is Michigan 3, Southern California 0. The first play of the second quarter will be a Michigan punt. Mike Gillette standing deep in his end zone. Scott Lockwood back at midfield for Southern California. Trojans should get good field position out of this. Snap is good to Gillette. Gets it out of there and gets a nice hanging kick up near the 47. Lockwood picks it. Penalty flag. Trojans ding right here for clipping. They're going to get hit for clipping. Number 6 came up the field and walloped somebody in the back, Marvin Pollard. And so the Trojans are going to go the other way for 15. 43-yard punt by Gillette out of the end zone. Then you add a 15-yard penalty to it, and it's a better kick. There's a clip right here.
Number 6 right there, Pollard is going to hit Welburn, number 3, right in the back. That's
take your pick, huh?
Yeah, there's another clip. Carrier almost, I don't know if he touched him or not, but it doesn't matter. 15 yards is 15 yards. Pollard, number 6, backup defensive back, just trying to get in the ball game and do something positive for the ball club.
At Tempe, Notre Dame has jumped out to a 16-0 lead over West Virginia in the second quarter of play in the Fiesta Bowl. Aaron Emanuel makes his first appearance in the ball game for Southern California at tailback. From the 46-yard line on first down, Peete gives it to Emanuel. In traffic, down at the line of scrimmage, Eric Anderson, 6'3", 215-pound sophomore, Glenview, Illinois, at the inside linebacker position.
First quarter stats, look at the bottom total, 10:31 time of possession for Michigan. They've dominated, and also only one first down for Southern Cal in the first quarter.
And so far, the USC running game has not been particularly productive. Second and 10. Peete back. Quick one. Sideline. Affolter. Short of the first down. Pickup of about 8 on the play. So far, they have not looked at Jackson. Wellman caught a little lob a few minutes ago, but Peete was past the line of scrimmage, so it didn't count.
Keith, coming into the ball game and talking with some of the Southern Cal coaches, they felt like they really weren't over the loss to Notre Dame. They felt like some of the players had a tough time putting it behind them, and I think it's shown in the first quarter of this ball game. They look a little flat.
Peete back on third down and about 3. Goes quickly to John Jackson. Jackson's knee down, 41-yard line, first down, Southern California. He had some room, too. That's why he's slapping his hands together, because there wasn't anybody around him.
Chuck Stobert right there, the offensive coordinator. He's done an outstanding job with this offense all year. Second in the Pac-10. They rank 9th overall in the nation in total offense.
Let me put the name Leroy Holt in your mind. He hasn't carried the ball yet. Paul Green, number 17, the tight end, shifts over. Holt's got it up the middle and stretches out close to the 35. He's very effective with that quick pop play up the middle.
Well, your screen, number 60 is going to be Mark Messner right there. He lined up inside where Holt ended up running and then slanted to the outside. It's a new position for Messner. They're moving him around inside, outside. You'll see him all over that defensive line. He's an All-American, a first-team All-American.
Second down, 4.5. Ball goes to Holt again. Leroy searching along the line of scrimmage. Finally finds a little room, but that time Messner and number 94, T.J. Osmond, got a hold of him and brought him down. Downtown Los Angeles, little ocean haze. There is no smog today. Well, everybody's taking it easy. Not many cars out. Had about 1 million, I suppose, watching the Tournament of Roses parade this morning, but most of them seemed to be in place last night. It was 32 degrees in Pasadena at 4 o'clock this morning. We've had cool weather.
And clear. I mean, this is one of the clearest last 2 days that I've seen out here.
Don't advertise it. Third down and a yard for USC now. We've got a timeout with 12:46 to go in the first half. The first time the Michigan Wolverines and Southern California Trojans met in the Rose Bowl, 1948, second year of the Big Ten Pac-10 agreement. All Michigan with All-Americans Bob Chappius and Bump Elliott, the dominant players. Coach of the year, Fritz Chrysler. Word is Wolverines, established as a 15-point favorite, were getting cocky. Called a meeting, chewed them out, and they won in a walk, 49-0, setting in motion Big Ten dominance through the first decade of the conference agreement. Buff Elliott staying in college athletics. He's the athletic director, University of Iowa. The Goodyear blimp Columbia, piloted by Captain Charles Russell from Downey, California. Soaring overhead in that blue sky. This is the 25th Rose Bowl for a Goodyear blimp. It'll be third down and 1. Holt and Emanuel in the backfield. Double tight end. Galbraith and Green both in. Peete gives it to Emmanuel, and he finds daylight. First down at the Michigan 22-yard line. Playing on grass versus playing on the rug. Well, we asked Mark Messner, the defensive tackle, and the wideout, John Colasar, how they felt about it. And here's what they had to say.
I can't stand grass. For some reason, I think it's just what you're used to. The week we've been out here practicing, our legs have felt like jelly. They're just now starting to come back, and we're just now getting used to it. We've all adjusted to the shoes that we feel most comfortable in. But it does take a tremendous amount of adjustment for us to get used to that.
I love grass. I played grass all in high school. I think, as a matter of fact, I'm fast on grass and everything, too. I can cut better. I can move better. I don't know what it is. Something I'm just fast on grass.
A differing opinion from a couple of Wolverines. Aaron Emanuel carrying the ball coming loose. Michigan has come up with the ball. Eric Anderson, the sophomore from Glenview, Illinois, makes the recovery.
Emanuel didn't get the start today. Irvin's got the start. A nice run up inside. Rubber number 3 is going to hit him, and the ball, I don't know, that ball, he is down. He is down.
Yeah, they say the ground can't cause a fumble.
Right. That is right.
Surprise!
Yeah. Did that time. That ball came out when his elbow hit the ground, and if your elbow hits the ground, you are down.
He's pretty hot about it, too. Michigan takes over with Bowles, the tailback, Callaway. The man moving around in motion. They give it to Bowles. Cut down right at the 15-yard line, and it's loose, and Southern California has recovered the football. Scott Ross knocked it out.
You saw a shot on the sideline of all the Southern Cal guys patting Emanuel on the back, saying, come on, get back in there. We got it back. From ground level, Bowles, number 42.
Ross is a wild man. He will take you on, and he put his hat right on it.
Well, there's no question about this fumble. The ball was loose before he hit the ground, and Ross, no question, caused it. Southern Cal gets the football.
Emmanuel is back in. It's first down. USC at the Michigan 15-yard line as they swap fumbles, and Emmanuel has the ball. The old confidence builder, and Emmanuel takes it down to the 6 on a hard run.
Well, the game plan was going to be run right at him because of the quickness of Michigan's defensive fronts and the size of the offensive line for Southern Cal being much bigger. Just run right at him and get that back in behind him, and that's what's been successful so far.
Ball is just short of the 5. They can get a first down if they cross the 5. Emmanuel to the 2 and maybe the 1. Ball came out again, but he was clearly down this time. It'll be first and goal to go, Southern California. Veda Murray brought him down. And they hustle T.J. Osman back in at middle guard or nose guard. Peter coming out. Goal line defense. No, it's not Peter coming out. It is Veda Murray, the strong safety, free safety coming out. So they put in the bulk up front in goal line defense. With the ball at the 2. Emmanuel over the top to the 1. Boy, somebody really stuck him. Number 37 looked like Eric Anderson. Got him right up at the top when he was trying to make his leap and nailed him.
That is just good defense, good goal line defense by Michigan. The 2 inside linebackers, J.J. Grant and Milligan, were hurt late in the year, and Eric Anderson, number 37, and Mark Spencer, number 55, have played the last few weeks of the season and filled in very well, but they are missing their leading tackler in J.J. Grant. Milligan is dressed and could play later on in the ball game.
Second down and goal just inside the 2. Peete keeps it. Welburn can't catch it. Touchdown.
Jackson in, number 1, so you might think it was going to be a pass. Jackson didn't get out. The defensive man jammed him at the line of scrimmage. Welber, number 3, can't catch him. And Peete is in for the score. There was a late flag thrown. It was after the play and after the signal for the touchdown.
Still waiting for declaration on the flag. Nothing about a flag. Must have picked it up. The extra point try by Quinn Rodriguez is good. And so Southern California now sticks it in the end zone to take the lead, 7-3, and 9:51 to go in the first half of play. The man in the middle, Roy Riegels. Yes, the same man that ran the wrong way in 1929 as Cal lost to Georgia Tech 8-7. Bill Glob of Chrysler and Jack Bigger cutting the ribbon of the Chrysler Court of Champions. And on that wall will be all the scores of games played in this historic Rose Bowl game. Scott Lockwood, Gimpy a while ago when he went off, yep, and they've got some ice on the knee. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct call. It looks like he's on the cart. No, I guess not. I thought maybe they're going to haul him off, but he's just up there out of the way. And another young man getting his ankle taped. That is for Diaz getting his ankle taped. The unsportsmanlike conduct call was just a momentary flash, apparently, and there's still been no declaration of it, except the ball is going to be kicked off from the 20-yard line, so I guess that's all the definition we need, isn't it?
There must have been something said or something done after Peete dove across the goal line, because it was away. It was about 5-10 seconds later that one of the officials threw his flag, so it was against Southern Cal, and they're going to have to kick from their own 20-yard line.
And they're going to let Chris Spurl do the kicking because Rodriguez is not that long, and with the ball backed up all the way at 20, Spurl is going to give it a lick. It's a pretty good kick. Back inside the 20 where Tony Bowles from the 19. Here's Mike Adamle.
The word on Scott Lockwood is that he sprained his left knee. They're hopeful that it's not anything more serious than that. They're going to take him into the locker room at halftime and probably do some x-rays and see if it is more serious. But so far, Scott Lockwood will not play the rest of this half. Keith?
Thank you, Mike. The ball is at the 34-yard line. First down. And that is actually the best starting point that Michigan has had in the ball game, because they've started at their 15, at their 1, and at their 16. Ford is the tailback with Bunch at fullback, and Demetrius Brown sets him up. 7-3, Southern California. Brown, little option action, then drops back and lets it fly for Colasar. Off his hand. Good defensive play by Chris Hale. Hale, number 2 at 5'9", Colasar, 6-footer. Both speedsters, and Hale stayed right with him.
What they were trying to do is hold Mark Carrier in the center of the field, number 7. They got that accomplished. The ball was over Colasar's shoulder, and he couldn't just come up with the play. You see number 7, Carrier, to the right of your screen. He's the man they fooled with the option fake down the line.
Second down and 10. To Horde. Runs through tacklers to the 40 and fights it to the 42. Pretty good run. 8-yard pickup. Timeout for a moment. We've got Trojan down on the field. So timeout for the injured player at 9 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first half, and Southern California leading Michigan 7-3. The Second meeting between Michigan and Southern California in the Rose Bowl, 1970. Coach Bo Schembechler's first season at Michigan. Record 7-2 with the Big Ten title. Southern California had only a tie marring their season record. The Trojans were in the Rose Bowl for a fourth consecutive year. Bad trip for the Wolverines. Coach Bo Schembechler had a mild heart attack, missed the game. Jimmy Jones hit Bob Chandler for the winning touchdown. Southern California 10-3. Michigan's first loss ever in postseason play. Scott Ross being helped off the field, the team's leading tackler. That would be a huge loss for the Southern California defense. Brian Tulio, a sophomore from Long Beach, checks in. Bowles is back in the lineup as Michigan goes to the wishbone on 3rd down and 2. And that's Ford with it. Looks to bounce outside. Can't do it. The defense is slow. Ate him up at the 40. He was trying to get out behind Dean Dingman, and Dean couldn't clear the way for him. And the Trojans jumped him.
Two inside linebackers, Tulio and Chesley, were both there to make the play. Tulio, 56, just coming into the ball game for the injured Scott Ross. But that is a wishbone and look only. It's a power once they run it. They do not run the wishbone, but they certainly line up like they're going to.
Give you an idea of Ross's effectiveness and what he can do. He had 4 tackles and 1 forced fumble in the first half here before he had to leave the game. Michigan's got to punt it now, and Affolter is the deep man, shielding his eyes from the bright sun. Gillette will hit it around the 30. They stop him.
Dead ball. Delay a game. Offense. Still 4th down.
So Gillette and his teammates will back up 5 after using up the clock. And Affolter will come up 5. Short kick, didn't get it to turn over, tail dragger, and it hits and bounces straight out of bounds. And it goes out at the Southern California 37-yard line. 8:10 to go in the first half. Trojans good field position. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. Here at the 75th Rose Bowl game, score 7-3. Southern California is leading. Michigan scored first in the first quarter. Trojans came back. Notre Dame, 20-point lead over West Virginia, second quarter Fiesta Bowl. Tailback is Emmanuel. Holt is the fullback. Peete rolls it left. Down the side. Intercepted. Picked off by David Arnold. And Arnold is out of bounds around the Southern California 40-41-yard line. The intended pass receiver broke it off underneath. Peete let it go deeper, and it went right into the arms of David Arnold. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. They will kill you.
It looked like Peete expected him to go on downfield. As you see Rodney rolling to his left with all kinds of time, good vision. The only thing here, Keith, he had to expect him to continue to go up the field. Take a look up here. He's going to run down the field, and Arnold right here is going to pick the ball off. Peete obviously felt like he was going to continue up the field. Arnold runs with him, turns around, and sees the coverage. Peete just made a bad throw.
Bowles is the tailback for Michigan. Southern California 41-yard line. Back goes Demetrius Brown to throw the ball. And it is incomplete. Intended for Horde coming out of the backfield.
Intended for number 33, Horde.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Callaway and Walker come into the Michigan lineup now. That brings Brown and Colasar off the field. Demetrius Brown went 3 for 3 for 41 yards. Now he's missed his last 3. Handed off this time, and there's room for Horde. And Leroy is close to a first down, but he'll be a yard short as Ernest Spears, the junior corner, brought him down for SC.
This is a draw play. The two inside linebackers, Tulio and Chesley. They see it, but the linemen are there. 67 is Vitale. Gets a nice block on one of the linebackers, and there's a nice hole up the middle for Horde.
Make it 3rd down and 2. And here comes the wishbone. Demetrius Brown to throw it. Goes down the middle. Can't get it to the intended receiver, Tony Bowles. Bowles came out of the backfield, and the pass was a little long. But I tell you, Bowles had broken away. He was free enough.
Well, he had a man open, Keith, right here. Bowles is just going to sneak by everybody as the fake is going to be made. And if the ball would have been there, it could have been touchdown. Right there, see Bowles slip by everybody. He looks to the inside, and Brown throws it to the outside and long.
4 down territory. They're going on 4th down and 2. Olasar and Callaway back in. Brown back to throw it. Little quick one to the sidelines. He had Callaway available, but he threw it much, much too high. And one of the reasons he threw it high was Tim Ryan, 250 pound on one side, and Dan Owens, 260 pounds on the other side, and they were trying to turn him into sausage.
Well, he had a lot of people in the backfield with him with the wrong colored jersey on as far as he was concerned, and a lot of linebackers between he and the receiver.
So the Trojan defense digs in and holds.
The explosive attack of Florida State beats the nation's #1 defense, Auburn. It's the USF&G Sugar Bowl, next on ABC Sports.
Well, you want a little conversation coming off the field? I know somebody will give it to you. Oh, giving him a piece of his mind after they failed to get anything out of that first down in good field position. Now Southern California takes it. First down from their own 33, leading 7-3. Galbraith moving over to the right side. The tight end, Peete almost dropped the ball, got in trouble, but runs away from Messner and is finally thrown out of bounds by David Arnold. Now the story on Scott Ross from Mike Adamley.
Well, good news for Trojans fans, Keith. The diagnosis, just a bruised right shin. They're making a protective pad. You can see it being applied right now, and Scott Ross should be back in this ball game.
Sounds like the old Santa Ana winds have dried you out, huh?
Yeah, they have. I've got a tough cold, but I'll deal with it. I'm a gamer.
All right, babe. It'll be 2nd down, still about 10 from the 33-yard line, and the pad going on. And I mean to tell you, Bob, that hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, that's good news, though, because when you limp off like that, and you know, the first thing you think is a knee, and the second is an ankle.
On 2nd and 10, Peete gives the ball to Aaron Emanuel, and he'll move it out to about the 38-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and long at 6:47 to go in the first half. Saturday, it's the season premiere of ABC's Wide World of Sports. Reigning world champion, 88 gold medalist from the Olympics, Brian Bortano. The 88th Olympic silver medalist, Brian Orsa. Debbie Thomas, Dorothy Hamill, and many others will match skills in the World Challenge of Champions figure skating competition in Paris. 4:30 Eastern and Pacific, 3:30 Central on ABC as Peete drops to throw. Comes one. Should be good for a first down. Emanuel made the catch. And I mean to tell you, he caught a hot rock because Peete put some sizzle on it.
Just enough to pick up the first down. Emanuel came into the ball game with only 6 catches on the year. That one was good enough for a first down.
I think if I were the home team, I would negotiate the field side, because over there on Southern California side, you see them all squinting, because as the day goes on, that bright sun just burns a hole in you. Really bright day. On first down now, the ball is at the 44-yard line. Peete gives it off to the first man. That's Leroy Holt. And that looks like another first down. Welburn and Anderson collaborate for the tackle, but Leroy's a load, 215 pounds.
Just a junior, when he came to Southern Cal, he didn't think that he would be carrying the ball very much because Southern Cal fullbacks are blockers, and he is a great blocker. He is also the inspirational leader of this ball club and has carried the ball a lot this year and has performed well enough to be tabbed all Pac-10 fullback. So you got a lot of players on this Southern Cal team.
That's really close.
Yeah, it is.
That much. Games played earlier today. Syracuse beat LSU 23-10 in the Hall of Fame Bowl. Clemson beat Oklahoma. Sooners missed a pass in the end zone as time ran out. UCLA beat Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl 17-3. First time the Bruins ever played in Dallas. Good day for Terry Donahue's defense, and Terry now becomes the first coach ever to win 7 consecutive bowl games. Congratulations, TD. Second down and just a couple of inches. They go to Emmanuel, and he didn't get a whole lot because Mark Messner was right there along with T.J. Osmond, but it looks like he's got his first down. Does.
T.J. Osmond is on the bottom of the file. First down.
Number 60 is Mark Messner, one of the men that you see him slanting to his left, and Milligan, number 30, filling the gap that he left. One of the things that Michigan was going to do to try to offset the difference in size between the offensive line and defensive line of these two ball clubs.
Ball at the 45 of Michigan. Peete dropping back. Gets some heat now. Here's where the quickness drives you nuts. Delivers it upfield. Holt catches it. And Holt takes it down just short of the 40-yard line. So instead of a 20-yard loss with that mobility, Peete is able to effectively move the ball upfield. Mike Evans was the man in pursuit of him in principle, but Mike couldn't catch it.
Well, that's the athletic ability of Rodney Peete. It should have been more than 20, close to 30 yards in difference from where the ball is spotted now from where he would have been sacked.
Gain is 4 yards, second down, 6. Affolter and Jackson, the wideouts. They run it with Emmanuel. Anderson, who's having a good day playing that inside backer position, knocked his legs from under him, and they're looking across the field, and it looks like it's going to be short of the first down. It is. We'll see both bands at halftime, and Corey McFerrin will have bowl highlights for you. I guess they're going to bring the chains on. It's that close. But look over there and you see that red triangle and try to define exactly where the mark is. And it's not always exact. It is short. 3 minutes and 59 seconds to play in the 75th Rose Bowl game. Michigan, in its first possession, got a 49-yard field goal from Mike Gillette to lead 3-0. Southern California then came back in the second quarter and punched it into the end zone. Rodney Peete running it in. And Southern California leads at 7-3, and they have the ball. Third down and a foot at the 35-yard line with Ricky Irvins in at tailback now for SC. Peete gives it to Leroy Holt, and the big fullback bowls his way down to close to the 32-yard line, and that will be a Trojan first down. Halftime score in the Fiesta Bowl, which in effect is the Arizona State University's home stadium in Tempe. A lot of folks use the grass at Sun Devil Stadium. Phoenix Cardinals play, that's their home field. The Sun Devils and bowl game. Aaron Emanuel back in for Southern Cal. But Holt is the man directly behind the quarterback. A little play action. Peete steps up out of the pocket. Now gets some pressure, runs away from the pressure. Down the sidelines he goes, inside the 10 to the 9. This is what Michigan did not want him doing, running around.
You stop the running game fairly well, and you cover the receivers downfield. This is the extra dimension that you get with a quarterback with the athletic ability of a Rodney Peete. the Big Ten, the Pac-10 Player of the Year. He's an All-American quarterback. He's got the ability to run. He's going to get a good block from one of his wide receivers right there coming back and gets it down close to the 10-yard line.
Inside at the 9 where it is 1st and goal, Southern Cal. Peete gives to Emmanuel. He goes searching along the line of scrimmage and will pick up close to 3 yards as he comes up just short of the 6. And Brent White, defensive tackle, the senior out of Dayton, Ohio, brought him down.
Emmanuel was the top high school running back in 1984 coming out of school. He was a high school All-American. The most sought-after running back was suspended last year by Larry Smith the entire season. He's made it back this year and has played very well when he's had the opportunity.
2nd and goal. Penalty flag. John Guerrero, I think, revved his motor a tad too quickly. Either that or the clock ran out, one or the other. Gordon Reese, the referee.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Still 2nd down.
Big John.
Second guy from the top on the offensive line right there. When you're that big, it's not hard to...
Can't miss it, can you?
Big John
300 and some pounds. When he moves, the earth trembles.
You know, we were commenting, every time we see a news article or an interview with Rodney Peete, it always seems like his big offensive lineman, John Guerrero, is right there by his side.
This is the 11th play of this possession. The ball is back just beyond the 12. 3rd down, a 2nd down, and goal. Emmanuel has it, a little draw action, and Emmanuel is inside the 5 to the 4. Well, Larry said he thought he had some backs who could make things happen on their own, and Emmanuel is starting to make a few things happen.
There's a reaction to this last play by both coaches. It's a little bit of a draw play. Larry Smith has trouble seeing it. Of course, he's happy. Both sees it very well and doesn't like anything about it.
Timeout with 1:19 to go in the first half. The Trojans knocking on the door again. It seemed to me that they're going to even up possession here with this last effort. They're down at the 4-yard line. They've run 11 plays. They've gobbled up a bunch of time. They're looking at 3rd down and goal. And you got 1:19 to play in the first half, and Southern Cal is leading 7-3. So they've had their timeout now to talk about things. And over the ball goes Brad Leggett. Emmanuel, the tailback, Holt, the fullback. Rodney Peete turns it inside. Touchdown. 2nd of the day.
In the opening about the health of Rodney Peete. Said he may run some option today, and they saved it for a goal line situation. Rodney Peete going down the line. Watch the linebacker out here. He's going to come upfield, and as Peete comes down and the back is out here, he chooses to take it into the end zone all itself. Straight down the line.
He also took a solid hit on that play, and he himself said he was curious as to how the shoulder would feel, the separation that he had suffered against Notre Dame, and he got up and walked away from it as Quinn Rodriguez makes the point good. And so with only 1:14 to go in the first half, the Trojans move it out to 14-3.
Here's the linebacker. He's going to be caught in between. He's going to come down here. Peete is. The back's going to be here. He either pitches it here or takes it up into the end zone, and it's his choice to take it up.
Linebacker's between a rock and a hard place right there, isn't it?
No question.
We'll be right back. Well, so far, everything seems all right. He got his second touchdown. He took a solid hit, pretty much on the shoulder. And Chris Burrell is back out on the field now for Southern California to kick it off as SC leads 14-3 with 1:14 to play in the first half. Colasar and Bowles now the deep people for Michigan. Colasar being 40 and Bowles 42. First quarter, Wolverines, impressive. Second quarter, it's been the SC show.
It's been Rodney Peete's show.
Rodney Peete show, that's exactly right. Because Michigan has not yielded all that much on the ground. Peete hurt him on the ground. Chris Burrell hangs it up, good kick. For Tony Bowles. Whoa. Maybe 2 steps from breaking it real big as Hartsucker and Tracy Butts bring him down.
Well, let's go back and take a look at the touchdown in the middle lower of your screen and see the reaction of the 2 coaches. Smith on the left and Schembechler on the right.
See that bright sun, Larry? Squinting through it. But he's happy enough. He saw enough. Timeouts remaining, Michigan with 2, Southern California 3, 1:08 to go, first half. That's Walker, tight end in motion. Demetrius Brown gets a little heat, gets his pass away. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Chris Callaway. And let's check in with Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, Willie Peete doesn't have too many opportunities to watch his son Rodney play in person because of his duties with the Green Bay Packers. Got to be nice to be here today in person to see him score 2 touchdowns, Willie.
Oh, this is great, and especially with the weather the way it is, and everything seems to be going okay so far.
Big question, Green Bay Packers have the second pick in the NFL draft. Cowboys go for Aikman. Will the Packers go for Rodney?
Well, I don't know. I think you'd have to ask Tom Bratz that. You know, we have great fans in Green Bay, and as far as myself is concerned, it would be nice if Rodney was there, but Tom is the guy that's going to call the shot.
Okay, Rodney. Thank you, Willie.
Thank you.
Pass complete to Colasar across the 45 to the 46, and a Michigan first down at 56 seconds to play in the first half. I gotta believe Green Bay picks Mandarich.
Julio made the stop.
You know, Willie Smith was an assistant coach under Larry Smith. Willie Peete was an assistant under Larry Smith at Arizona, and Rodney was the water boy on that team.
Brown, little draw, little delay up the middle, big play for Bowles, and another Michigan first down, it appears. It looks like he's gone down right at the Southern Cal 44, and that's where the sticks are located. And they'll stop the clock and have a look at it. May have to measure it. Nope. They're going to call it second down. Be very short. Clock is rolling now at 40 seconds. Wolverines hustle a bit to get the play off. Brown looks at Colasar. Now gets a whole lot of green in front of him. Gets his pass off to the end zone. John's there. No. Too long. Butts and Hale were both there. But you know what? If that ball is not overthrown, Colasar catches it.
That's right. Couldn't throw it when he wanted to, but there was certainly some space in there where he was open. But the ball is thrown out of the end zone, and nobody sees it but Colasar, which is good for him.
See? He's the only one. Butts is already down. Hale's back to it. But if and but, right?
There's no question about the strength of Demetrius Brown's arm. He threw that ball a good 60, 65 yards in the air.
26 seconds. Brown, good protection. Little pop to the sidelines for Bowles. Tony needs to get out of bounds and does. Inside the 40 at the 39.
Tony Bowles.
And that should be good for a first down. Michigan calls timeout that leaves them to 1. They have 1 timeout remaining. 18 seconds to go in the first half. Tomorrow night on ABC, new episodes of Who's the Boss? Roseanne, a race against the biological clock, 30-something at a special time. Then at 10, 9 Central, Heartbeat starts its new season with a special preview hour. So kick off your new year with comedy and drama tomorrow night here on ABC. With 18 seconds, if you got a gimmick play, is this the place to do it?
I don't think so. Southern Cal's defense is going to be back protecting. They're going to be conservative. They're not going to be giving you any gimmick plays. Usually gimmick plays are when you're in a normal situation throughout the ball game. I think they just need to move it down with some sound plays and at least come up with a field goal. I don't think they can expect to get a touchdown in this situation because the way Southern Cal's defense will be playing.
But in that second half, the one thing that we all have talked about incessantly, I guess, the Southern California offensive front began to assert itself against the smaller Michigan defensive front.
I think it took them a quarter to really get into this ball game after that big emotional loss to Notre Dame where they were ranked #1. They finally got that out of their system and started playing ball in the second quarter.
39-yard line of Southern California. Brown with a little play action. He pops it down the middle. He's got his tight end Walker, and it's good for a first down at the 16. That stops the clock as they move the chains.
Walker was wide open down the center of the field. He's lined up right here. He's just going to go down and hook in the middle of the field. Watches the safeties on the outside of the field just go to the outside part. The linebackers normally cover the inside, and one of the linebackers got turned around. Number 89 is Walker. Nothing fancy to this route. Seau, number 55, kind of loses track of him. And carrier, number 7, makes the play.
And Michigan has just spent its last time out to draw up what could be the last play of the first half. We have 11 seconds remaining to play. The ball is just inside the 17, but it's officially a 16-yard effort coming up.
Well, the problem is here, if you throw the ball in the field of play or you run a play, you're not going to get your field goal team on the field, so you either have to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown or an incompletion, or throw it to the sideline where you're going to step out of bounds.
I'd put it in the end zone. I believe when you're this close, just keep sticking it in there, and sooner or later something good might happen.
I think you should take a shot at it.
Yep.
But also have really a lot in the forefront of your mind is don't throw the interception and don't throw it for an incompletion inside the field of play because the clock will run out.
Like the old boy said, they don't give me no points, coach, for throwing that thing to the sideline.
That's right. And the other thing is don't get sacked. That's the last thing you think about.
All right, here we go. Round back. Corner. That's got to be interference, isn't it? And no flag. They ran together before the ball got there, so there won't be interference. Hale was covering Colasar. Michigan folks looking for a flag, but there wasn't any, as Colasar literally ran into Hale.
Well, we'll take a look at him right here as he fakes to the inside and then goes back to the outside. No, you can't do that. The ball was in the air. There was contact. It would have been catchable if he hadn't got blocked.
Could have gone.
Yeah.
It gets Gillette in. The ball is put down at the 24 for Gillette, and he misses it to the right. And the first half is over. So the Wolverines get a shot at a second field goal, and Gillette can't hook it back in between the uprights. And at halftime, Southern California 14, Michigan 3. Bob Greasy, they do know how to party at Pasadena.
Oh, boy, nothing I've ever seen like this.
First half, what do you think?
Well, I think it went pretty much to form, which we thought that Michigan was not going to be able to run the ball very well. They got like 30 yards. They threw the ball for 85. I think they have to continue that and improve on it and score when they get the opportunity. Southern Cal, on the other hand, it's been the Rodney Peete show. They've moved the ball, but he's made the key play to get him in the end zone.
Well, I think Brown just needs to harness his energy just a little bit because he's had people.
They've had people open. Their passing game will work. They just have to refine it a little bit, as you say, and get it working when they have to make the play.
In amplifying on Bob's comment, it's been the Rodney Peete show. Here are 2 touchdowns scored in the ball game, and he has scored them both and scored them both running the ball. The first one went like this.
Rodney's going to take this and do it all himself. It was supposed to be a little play-action pass, but Jackson, the wide receiver, gets held up at the line of scrimmage. Peete sees it very quickly and is going to outrun Arnold, number 15, to the corner of the end zone and then just make a swan dive and finally gets in for the score.
I think one of the more revealing comments made a couple of days ago by Larry Smith, the Trojan coach, was that Pete's healthier than he has been in some time. Well, that immediately caused you and I to start thinking, hey, he's going to run some option stuff, and sure enough.
You're the one that said he's going to run the option, and you called it very right. Right here on the goal line, inside the 10-yard line. Not going to do a lot of it, just do enough of it and use it when we need most, and that was when they needed it, and he got it in the end zone.
Now, Bo Schembechler is a man devoted to running the football because that's just simply part of his basic philosophy. And you can't quibble with it because he's the winningest active coach there is. But can he run this ball against this team?
Well, we asked him that question the other day, and he said, you know, we're going to try and do what got us here. He says, but I'm not going to pound my head against the wall. He says, I'm going to do what we have to do to win the ball game, if that means opening up, using gimmicks or whatever. He's going to throw the football in the second half. I think they've tried to run. He realizes he can't run consistently, and he has to throw the football.
All right, boys, come back. The two teams are back. We're close to the start of the second half, and here's the way the halftime numbers look.
Well, as you see, the halftime statistics, the number of plays are even. The first downs are even. Rushing, USC has a big advantage. The time of possession at the bottom of the screen, almost the same. Turnovers, which both coaches thought would be a key in this game. The one interception by Rodney Peete. Both teams have had a fumble, and that's been about it.
All right, Bob, and we're ready to go with the second half of play now. Quinn Rodriguez will handle the kickoff for Southern California as they kick it from the 35. Chris Pearl kicked the last couple for the Trojans, but Quinn's back there now to do it. Colasar and Bowles are the deep people for Michigan in white. And we're ready to go with the second half. The Trojans leading 14-3. It's a high, and it's a short kick for Horde. Horde takes it up around the 16-yard line and runs it back up across the 30 to the 31, and that's where Michigan will go to work first down. Michigan's first half possessions, early on in the ball game, they didn't have anything decent. It was 15-1 and 16, and then they got it out a little bit, got some room, but didn't do much with it.
The first drive was their best drive, 14 plays. They got it down and only a field goal. They didn't get it in for the touchdown.
There are some of the individual numbers in the first half. Brown hit 3 in a row and then had some trouble. All right, Jeff Brown is in at tight end as they open the second half with Tony Bowles, the tailback. And Bowles carries the ball up close to the 35-yard line. Defensively, these are the numbers in the first half.
The USC, Hale, surprisingly, a cornerback, is tied for leading tackler with Chesley.
Ross sprained a knee and is looking around to see if he's out there. And I don't see him. But USC is pretty rich at that linebacking position. They've got a lot of people that can play it. And play it well. Brian Tulio is in there, 56 at Ross's spot. This is Tony Bowles looking for some room and can't find it. And Delmar Chesley, one of those linebackers, came up the middle to bring him down.
Delmar Chesley broke through to bring him down.
Let's take a look at the second quarter summary by itself. And as you see, Southern Cal dominated time of possession, scored 14 points. And the total yardage was 131 to 69. That is just in contrast to the first quarter when Michigan dominated the statistics.
The ball at the 34-yard line.
Now it is 3rd down and 6. Back goes Brown to throw it. Demetrius fires down the middle into a whole lot of traffic, but it worked as Derek Walker pulls in the ball, his second catch. Now let's check in with Mike Adams.
Well, Keith, in your response to Scott Rouse, the Trojan linebacker, he is out for the rest of the game with that bruised shin, also a severe sprained ankle. So is Scott Lockwood. He's out of the game with a medial collateral strain, so both of them will not see action in the second half of this Rose Bowl.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. 42-yard line. Get him some hot tea and honey. First down. Little reverse going with Colasar, and there's a lot of red shirts back there. They've got, oh, he got away! Gets a block! Colasar, big play. Great effort by John. Don Gibson, 92, had him by the coattail back on the 30-yard line and couldn't hold him.
You saw Schembechler looking at his game plan. He calls the plays. He's a conservative coach, but reverses aren't conservative. He comes out in the first series, the second half, a reverse. Sweeney, 51, should have made the play, but Colasar, a senior, says, I'm not giving up. I'm going to make something out of this. And a lot of the coaches from Michigan feel like he has really come on the last few ball games.
Well, he won the Ohio State game for him, covering the whole 100 yards for the winning touchdown. The ball is on the Southern California 42. Bowles is the tailback. Demetrius Brown shoots it to the sideline. Pass is caught by Greg McMurtry. That's only the second time they've gone to McMurtry. And they put him up against Hale for the second time, and he caught the ball.
McMurtry is tall, 6'3", quite an outstanding baseball player. Was drafted in the first round by the Red Sox. Just runs a little out. Makes a nice play. He decided to come to Michigan because he wanted an education, and they say he turned down a pretty good signing bonus.
Yeah, he did. He's from Brockton, Mass., so the Red Sox had him right in their backyard. Got away. Second down, yard for the first down. And it's Bowles, and Tony's got it inside the 30, banged down around the 27-yard line by Cordell Sweeney, playing the outside backer position on that side.
Cordell Sweeney made the stop for USC.
Shadows now as that sun goes down behind the press box side of the Rose Bowl. You can see the shadows now cover virtually the entire floor of the stadium, with the exception of the USC side of the field. Notre Dame now 20-point lead in the third quarter in the Fiesta Bowl. First down, Wolverines. 28-yard line of USC. Brown, play action, looking around, can't find anybody. Running for his life. He's got some room. Gets a block, turns it in, and he's inside the 10 to the 5. Well, he kept looking and searching and running, and finally he wound up with a 23-yard pickup.
Well, he looked deep down the middle first. You read deep to short. He looked for a square end of coming from the other side. Nothing was there, and he says, I've got some room out here, plus a blocker. Bowles, 42, does a nice job. And Demetrius Brown, who Bo says is probably the toughest kid on the team, picks up a big first down. And, you know, it reminds me of what Rodney Peete did for his team in moving them down offensively in the first half.
It's first and goal, Michigan, at the USC 6-yard line. Brown wants to throw. Throws for Callaway. Callaway was tangled up with the defender Carrier. Finally broke it off back inside, and he couldn't get it to him.
Callaway was saying that Carrier, number 7, was holding on a little bit. And there ain't no question that he was.
Second goal.
He made it look like it was going to be a fade to the outside, and then he came back to the inside on a slant. And Carrier had him by the wrist with his right arm.
The three linebackers in there right now for Southern California, all non-starters. Delmar Chesley, Brian Tulio, and Cordell Sweeney. Second down and goal from the 6. Brown back to throw it again. Same thing. Callaway, touchdown. Callaway for the Michigan touchdown.
To the inside. This time there'll be no holding by Carrier. He goes to the outside, spins back inside, and an excellent throw and an excellent call. It was there the first time. Go back to it again, throw it the second time.
And they're going for 2. It's 14-9. Hale hurries out of the ball game. Horde is the lone remaining back, trips to the top of the picture. 3 wideouts, top of the picture. Now they bring Colasar back toward the ball. Give it a Horde, and he won't get there. Well, at 14-10, it didn't help him a whole lot. So they decided to go ahead and go for 2 to try to make it 14-11, and it just wasn't there.
I like the call going for 2, but you'd think he tripped over one of his offensive linemen.
He wants offside because Tim Ryan had made a goodly bit of penetration, it appeared, but no flag. Bo's hot.
On the left side of the screen, number 99 is Ryan.
Definitely in the neutral zone, is he?
Well, he was definitely moving forward. Bo thought he had at least 5 in the bank right there when he saw the man jump, but he got no flag. Top of your screen, red jersey, number 99 from the reverse angle. It just depends how far back he was lined up. If he could have stepped forward and still not been offside, but I doubt it.
14-9 is the score. In 1977, Michigan rolled into the Rose Bowl against Southern California with a 10-1 record, leading the nation in total offense, scoring offense, ranked second in the nation in scoring defense. Michigan ranking second in the national poll, Southern California third. Both teams loaded with talent who would go on to star in the NFL. Vince Evans scored the first Trojan touchdown. Charles White scored the second. Offsetting Rob Lytle's score for Michigan, Southern California won it 14-6. The crowd more than 106,000. All right, now keep in mind how far back he's lined up. He's not exactly along the line, is he?
On the end of the line, closest to the right side of the lower right, at 99.
Is he in the neutral zone? Judgment was no. No penalty. Here's the kickoff. It goes to Calvin Holmes at the 4 and back to the 23 or 4.
Here we look at it again. If he was called offside, then Michigan gets another try at the 2-point conversion. It could be a big play later on in this ball game. That's what Bo was so hot about, shall we say.
Aaron Emanuel opens the second half at tailback for Southern California from the 24-yard line. They give it inside to Leroy Holt, the fullback. Spinning move by the big guy, and he's up to about the 26, close to the 27.
25-yard line to the 27.
Again, running right at that defensive front with all the quickness of Mesner up there. I really haven't heard a lot about Mark Mesner today because of the type of offense that Southern Cal is running at him. Right at him, not letting him pursue one side or the other. In fact, Mesner only has 2 tackles at this point in the ballgame.
They move Galbraith over on Wellman's side. On second down and 7, and Peete drops back, comes back to Affolter on the near side, and he's up near the 35 and may have a first down.
David Arnold ran him out of bounds.
There's a look at that last 2-point conversion try. They both thought he had 5 in the bank. He thought he had 5-yard penalty in the bank at least because he had a man offside. Of course, Larry Smith is happy that they stopped him.
It is a first down for SC. Ball on their 35. They lead 14-9. Third quarter of play in the 75th Rose Bowl game. Emanuel, good block on the corner, dropped the football, and Michigan's got it.
Well, if they got it, they better hold on because they're still fighting for it in there.
That's the second fumble by Emanuel today, and the other one was pretty shaky because his elbow hit the ground, and they called it fumble. But this one, he just dropped it. That'll be the third USC turnover.
Looks like Veda Murray, number 27, had the football. Marshall, 59. The ball just comes out.
Yeah, he just dropped it.
Yeah.
And it is Murray on the recovery, and Michigan has a break.
Wolverines have
And I would imagine Bo has just turned to his group and said, about damn time.
They haven't had one so far today.
From the 32-yard line.
The third turnover for Southern Cal in this ball game.
Much the fullback, Horde the tailback, Callaway in motion. Contact on the line of scrimmage. Number 92, Gibson, bangs into Vitale. It's offside USC.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense. Still first down.
John Vitale, the center, fifth-year senior for Michigan. All Big Ten performer this year, starting his 45th consecutive game.
That moves the football to the SC 27, where it's 1st and 5 for Michigan. This time it's Colasar in motion. Brown, play action. Colasar's wide open. 15-14. Michael Williams finally hunted him down.
John Colasar. Michael Williams brought him down for USC.
Colasar is here. He's going to go in motion and sneak out this way as this receiver. The fake will hold the linebackers. The receiver at the top of your screen clears the area for Colasar. Play action holds the linebacker, and it's a well-executed play. The pass could have been thrown a little bit further to the outside, not to slow him up so much. Colasar sneaks past the linebacker. 54 is Williams.
First down at the 14. Bowles is in at tailback. Little option down the line. Pitch to Bowles. Big collision at about the 12. And the collision came with Mark Carrier, number 7, the free safety for USC. Aaron Emanuel walking around, rubbing his head on his second fumble of the day.
Well, he was a little in the... You talk about Bo's doghouse. I guess Manuel was a little bit in, or I guess he was all the way in Larry Smith's doghouse. And no question about it. Now he's fumbled twice today.
Second down and 8 from the 12. Ford, the fullback, goes in motion. Bowles behind him. Brown rolls it. Looks for Colasar. Brown running for his life. Hartsacker after him. And Brown goes out of bounds just short of the 5-yard line. Hartsacker got pretty good speed. He almost ran him down.
Schembechler calls the plays. Gary Moeller is the assistant head coach to the left there. Formerly the head coach at University of Illinois and a longtime friend and coach with the Michigan staff and Bo Schembechler. But Bo's calling the plays and he's loosening up. He's calling more passes on first down.
Third down and 2 as the Trojan goal line defense is in now. 3rd and 2 just inside the 6. And Horde, I don't think he got anything, as Tim Ryan, number 99, just stuffed it.
Number 99, Ryan, is going to slant to his outside and then comes back to the inside to make the play. Tim Ryan named All-American after the season was over with, and just a junior, as are 10 of the 11 starters on this defense.
It is 4th and 2, and Gillette's in for a field goal try. Be 22 yards.
22-yard attempt out of the hold of Ken Solomon.
It's up, and he missed it. I mean, he fanned it.
Gillette is the all-time leading kicker, field goals and percentage in Michigan history.
And he's missed 2 today. Hit the first one from 49 yards, and now he has missed 2 in a row, and this was really a miss.
He was a second-team All-American choice, and he's missed 2 field goals here today. Watch his reaction.
Well, remember now, he plays on the rug. He practices on the rug. He's kicking on grass today, and it requires a different tempo.
tomorrow.
Come on, you want to play with us?
What do I look like, a Kennedy?
The game's not over yet.
Let's have a baby. What do you think?
30-something tomorrow at a special time.
Well, the sun is heading for the other side of the world, beginning to get the long shadows across the San Gabriel Mountains. The Goodyear Blimp Columbia with Captain Charles Russell out of Downey, California. Rose Bowl number 25 for them. Michigan's last 4 possessions, Bob, have ended at the USC 33, missed a field goal, got a touchdown, and then missed a field goal. So they haven't been really productive.
You can't just keep throwing those opportunities away.
Ricky Irvins carried the ball. Trying to see something that's beginning to develop now. In the second quarter of play in the ball game, we saw the SC offensive front begin to assert itself, but here in the third quarter with 8 minutes left to play, the Michigan defensive front has held its own quite well.
Well, they have. They've stopped them and forced a punt, and then they forced that fumble. And you know, Michigan's got to do better with the opportunities when they've got the football.
Second down and 8, and up the middle. Ricky Irvins, the 190-pound sophomore. Eric Anderson, number 37, the first man to get to him for Michigan, and he is well short of the first down. The Sugar Bowl comes up next. USF&G Sugar Bowl out of New Orleans, the Dome, Florida State, and Auburn. It's the first time in 15 years. I haven't been there.
First time in 15 years?
Yeah. Ball over the 25, near the 26. Third down, call it 4. Long 4. Pete's pass is incomplete, intended for Ricky Irvins out of the backfield. The coverage by Eric Anderson. He's been very, very active. He got there just as the ball was passing by, and Southern California will have to punt it.
Since halftime, Michigan has come out and toughened up their defense, that time putting some pressure on Rodney and good coverage. The last possession for SC, of course, was the fumble by Emmanuel, but Michigan, getting good opportunities, has got to take better advantage of it. They missed 2 field goals, and they missed that extra 2-point extra point.
Third punt for Chris Burrow. Got a 60-yarder, and this is a beauty, too. Colasar was way back to his 15-yard line. Gets a crack up the middle. And gets a good return out of it, a 20-yard return, 21-yard return back to the 36. Scott Fryer is down. Scott Fryer is the Trojan center who snaps on punts, and he is shaken up. It was a 58-yard kick by Chris Burrow. We'd like to welcome a new member to the ABC family as of today, WPBF, Channel 25 in West Palm Beach, Florida. Welcome to our celebration of sport and parade to welcome in the new year, folks. We're delighted to have you with us. First down for Michigan. The ball is just short of the 36. USC leading 14-9. Ryan is in that neutral zone again and gets a flag this time as the pass is completed to McMurtry down to the USC 45-yard line. So I think they will decline that little bit of encroachment and take the play.
Flag on the play.
Oh, it's motion. It's against the folks wearing white, so it wipes out the play. Hard to detect sometimes. If a lineman moves a little bit, somebody starts a tad early, and you get the flag.
Illegal shift. Offense. Still first down.
And there's the little wiggle right there. That's all it takes.
Well, you had 2 men in motion. That was the call. Illegal shift. We had 1 man in motion in the backfield, and the tight end was moving just a little bit. And when you have 2 men moving, they both have to stop before you snap the football.
So instead of being first down Michigan at the 45 of USC, it is first down and 15 back at the Michigan 31. A little shovel ahead. And it's an incomplete pass, but my goodness, I don't know. He tried to shovel it ahead Leroy Horde, but Mike Huzar was about the only one that could get his hands on it.
Owens, number 90, knocks it down. Saw it very well.
I mean, this is dumping that thing in traffic.
Watch number 90 at the top. Well, you're going to come into your screen right there. Whew.
Lucky to get that one back.
Could have picked that one off.
It'll be second down and 15. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Long delay on the play action. Brown wants to pump it. Instead goes short with it. Hits Callaway, but it's short hopped to Chris, who is a junior out of Chicago. And he's incomplete. There's Scott Fryer, the snapper. He was shaken up, but he's out on the side now practicing, so I guess he's all right. You don't think much sometimes about the guys that do the snapping on punts, but I'm going to tell you something. They're worth their weight in gold.
They
sometimes.
certainly are, and Southern Cal didn't have one, and they went out, and Fryer just walked on. He went to high school with Paul Green, who was a tight end on the ball club, earned a scholarship, and is now snapping on punts.
Sophomore from Antioch. Back goes Brown on third down and 15. Wants to go big with it. And it is dropped by McMurtry. McMurtry had his step on Ernest Spears. The ball was right there. He just didn't seem to be able to reel it in.
Nobody's making the plays for Schembechler. That's what he's saying on the sideline. Somebody's got to make the plays. The ball is there.
Look at that. Perfect.
You couldn't want it any better.
That is a greasy pig for McMurtry.
Baseball player, too, a center fielder. He ought to be able to pull those in.
So they got a punt. Gillette is in, third kick of the day. Affolter is deep for Southern California. High snap. Gillette handles it all right. Can't get it to turn over. It's a short kick and out of bounds, just short of the 40-yard line. So it's the second bad kick, 128, and now this one 29. And SC's got good field position. You got 5:58 to play in the third quarter. Southern California with the ball. They haven't done anything in the second half. Fiesta Bowl score, Irish by 21. Fourth quarter. Heading for national championship.
That'll put an end to all the arguments about if West Virginia should win or if they should tie.
No matter what happens in the Orange Bowl.
That's right.
From the 40-yard line. Let's see if the Trojans can turn it up a notch now. They have not done much. Here's Peete on a rollout. Loops it. Caught by Holt out of the backfield. And he's up to about the 48-yard line. A soft little touch pass to Leroy Holt.
This is the third possession for Southern Cal in the second half. The first two possessions, 3 plays and out both times. The first resulted in a fumble, which Michigan did not gain any points on. They went down, kicked a field goal, and missed it. Southern Cal needs to get something going.
Second down and 2. Fullback Holt carrying the ball this time, and nothing doing, folks. Good pursuit by Brent White with a little help from Trip Wellborn. But number 88 is the man that did the job.
By number 88, Brent White.
Loss on the play moves the ball back a yard.
White was in a serious automobile accident last year and missed most of the season. And Schembechler said he didn't expect him to come back and be able to play football, but he's back in there and doing a fine job.
Third down and 3. Holt won't get it.
Hold again and down the line, stop short.
What do you bet 60 is on the bottom of the stack? And he is. Messner right there.
Messner is bottom of the file for Michigan.
So the Trojans have got to punt it away again.
Brings up fourth down.
Mesner was the first position player ever to be awarded all conference 4 years in a row. Started when he was a freshman, all the way through school, made all Big Ten every year.
There's something wrong with the lineup they've got on the field. I don't know what it is, but Messner's realized there was something wrong and had 12 men. That's what it was. He counted. Well, he's in the ball game, and he called a timeout. And you saw that was really jumping all over Veda Murray. Apparently, Veda was the man who wasn't supposed to be out there.
I'd say he was the 12th man.
Yeah. The Honda Scholar Athletes of the Year, presented by Honda, sponsored by Honda. The awards go to Mark Kingstad, linebacker, Arizona State, second year in a row, an all Pac-10 selection, and Chuck Hartley, the senior quarterback from the University of Iowa, who led the Big Ten in total offense. Honda presenting a check for $2,000 to the General Scholarship Funds of Arizona State University and the University of Iowa. Hey, Bump Elliott's having a good day. We featured him in our flashback as an All-American, and now he's got $2,000.
All right. There's Mark Mesner. Hyperactive as a youngster when he was 4 or 5 years old, and friends would invite the family over to dinner. He says, but if you're bringing Mark, don't come.
We'll call the fire marshal.
Chopped a pine tree down in the front yard, and Dad made him stand out there for an hour.
In the dark.
Yeah.
Little pressure this time on Spurl, but he gets another beauty. He's had a great day kicking the ball. Colasar, fair catch, falls down back around the 8-yard line. So Spurl is having a real good day with the foot. 45 yards on that punt with 3:55 to go in the third quarter. Saturday on ABC Sports, season premiere of the Professional Bowlers Tour. First stop, $125,000 ARC Pinole Open. 5 survivors from a field of 160 of the greatest bowlers in the world meet in the championship round. Action starts live, except on the West Coast, at 3 Eastern and Pacific, 2 Central Time Saturday, here on ABC Sports. That is a nice group of people. All right, Tony Bowles and Jared Punch in the backfield behind Demetrius Brown, and they will start from their own 8-yard line. Trailing 14-9. Penalty flag down as Bowles cuts it upfield, and this might be a pickup. Owens looked like he was offside, but that second flag might be on something else.
Making the tackle.
Demetrius Brown applauding the call, so apparently it is against the USC. Every little bit helps at this end of the field.
Defense. Still first down.
So it'll be 1st and 5.
Take a look, the lower right side of your screen. Right there.
So at the 13 now. 1st and 5 for Michigan. Ford, the tailback, has the ball. Williams misses him. Woo. A pretty good lick put on him by whoever it was is going to be down and slow to get up. It was Tracy Butts that came up and butted heads, and Trace not really quite sure what town he's in right now.
Butts is in there. Butts is in there playing in place
Look at
of
Ross is back too.
Cleveland Coulter, and there's Ross, 35. Well, he is an intense player. He is the coaches talk about a linebacker mentality. They say Scott Ross has got it.
Ball is at the 19, and it's a first down for the Michigan Wolverines. Demetrius pumps it up, lets it go. Colasar, and it's incomplete, thrown out of bounds. Chris Hale had the inside position. John went over the top, just in case Chris was able to get his hands on it.
Well, they were running an out and up on Hale. Watch him. This is going to be the end of it. He broke to the outside. Now here's where he's going for the ball. No interference there. Both players going for the football.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. I would imagine Chris gets kind of feisty because They're at 5'9" and 170 pounds, and these big old lanky wide receivers keep running at him.
Met him during the year, and he loves it. He says, send him over here. He's always to the wide side, always covering the best receiver. He loves it.
Little delay, goes to Horde. Finds some daylight. Oh, look at this. What a great run by Leroy Horde. Just over midfield. Arm tackling. Ain't going to do it with him.
Horde, normally the fullback, moves back to the tailback position every now and then. Gained over 100 yards in 3 games, including the last 2, and just doesn't go down. Good, tough running.
First down, Michigan, just on the USC side of midfield, and Leroy's out for a breather. Michigan's picked up 90 yards on the ground here in the second half. They only got 40 in the first half. So the Trojan defense got to dig in a little here as the Wolverines start to push them around some. Tony Bowles. And he picks up about 8 yards on the carry. Michael Williams, number 54, brings him down for USC.
Tom Rogeman, the linebacker coach, he's in communication with Chris Allen, the defensive coordinator upstairs, the Southern Cal Trojans, and they've done an outstanding job this year with this defense for Southern Cal.
Or if you ever want to fire up a rally,
that's the man right there. Oh, boy.
Second down, a long 2. Bowles again. He's got it. He's got it big. He's down to the 27-yard line.
Tony Bowles finally brought down by Tracy Butt on the 27-yard line.
Dingman, number 78, leads this play. The left guard right here. Watch Dingman as he pulls and is going to get a great block over here to spring this play.
15-yard run.
Right there on the linebacker. That's Chesley, 53.
Give you an idea how the worm has turned here in the second half. Michigan's picked up 148 total yards. USC only 25. And we've got 1:40 to go in the third quarter. And Horde back in. Hammers his way from the 27 to about the 24.
24-yard
It's been
line.
frustrating, though, for Michigan because the one thing they have not done is score in the second half when they've dominated the play.
That is really, I mean, it gets inside your soul when you keep punching it down there and get nothing out of it.
You have to be able to score, and with Gillette, their excellent field goal kicker, misses those short field goals, it deflates the whole team. I mean, you work that hard and you get no points out of it.
Second down and 7. We've got Bowles in a slot position now with Horde going in motion. Bowles has got good hands. He's got the short route, but it goes to the tight end. Walker down to the 1.
All the motion goes with Horde and Bowles. All the motion is over here, but the tight end is going to slip down the field and complete the pass by Demetrius Brown. Everybody forgets about the tight end. Demetrius looks to his left, makes a nice, disciplined decision to come back. To the left of your screen, 89 is Walker. Slides back to his left where he's open. Nice play.
245-pounder out of the wishbone. Jared Bunch tries it. And he didn't move it much. Hartsucker up on top of the stack. Butch is up there too, but the 3 big guys down in the middle.
Well, in 11 and 12 games this year, Southern Cal's defense has given up only 20 touchdowns and only 7 on the ground.
And they're going to let the clock run out. The third quarter ends with the score. Southern California 14, Michigan threatening to take the lead in the first 2 or 3 plays of the final period. Those are the only vital numbers at this point, but it may be about to change. Michigan has the ball, second down and goal at the Southern California 1 as we go to the final quarter of this 75th Rose Bowl game. Bowles, Horde, Bunch in the wishbone set. Brown gives it to Horde. Touchdown. Go for two? The answer is yes, because Colasar, McMurtry, and Callaway have all gone in. If they can convert it, it will give them a 3-point lead. Going for one doesn't make any difference. It's only 2 points. So they will go for two. 92 yards, 9 plays, 3 minutes, 57 seconds. Michigan to the lead, 15 to 14. Now it goes trips to the bottom of the picture. 3 wideouts.
Look for some kind of a pick out here. 2 receivers going one way, one going the other.
They're going to throw it this time. Last time they ran it. Demetrius Brown throws it away. Well, that was either a very, very poor pass or there was nobody available to him. You got to throw that thing into the end zone, and he didn't do it.
Covering for USC.
The 2-point conversion wasn't good. Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown from behind the offense. The left guard, Dingman, 78, is going to pull. The play was designed inside, but Horde sees it, bounces to the outside, and has enough foot speed just to outrun Spears to the corner.
And he is from New Orleans, where the USF&G Sugar Bowl game is going to be played tonight between Florida State and Auburn, and it's coming up right after our bowl game. So it's been a triple header today. Jim McKay, Joan London, and Tim McCarver all got up. I don't know what time they got up.
Awfully early.
To cover 4:40 this morning.
I guarantee you McCarver never got up that early for any baseball games.
No, he didn't. I bet he had fun. Maybe never been to one.
He looked like he had fun.
Yeah. 15-14 Michigan. As we have 14 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the ball game. Calvin Holmes, Ricky Irvins, and Marcus Hopkins, who is a defensive back of the 3 deep people for USC. Mike Gillette's kick, right down the pipe. It goes to Holmes, the speedster. And he's up across the 25-yard line.
Let's take a look at the third quarter stats. Michigan has dominated. In total plays, they lead. First downs, they lead. Rushing yards, passing yards, total yardage, and time of possession, except on the scoreboard. They just scored to begin the fourth quarter. This is going to be a heck of a football game, the fourth quarter, Keith.
Well, Southern California hasn't shown much of anything in the second half. They start out with Emmanuel at tailback, and Leroy Holt has gone all the way at fullback. Paul Green, tight end, shifts over. He has not seen the ball today. Neither tight end has seen the ball. Peete sack. Brett White, who's playing a terrific ball game for Michigan. That's the first sack of the day of Rodney Peete.
Brett White gives credit to Mark Mesner. He says, Mesner gets all the double and triple teaming. I get left by myself, and it gives me an opportunity to make some plays.
Loss of almost 7 yards on that sack, just inside the 20. Peete takes off. Back up to the 25, and that's all, where Eric Anderson gets the first hit on him. This is what's happened. First quarter, 49-yard field goal, 3-0 Michigan. Southern California, a couple of touchdowns by Rodney Peete in the second quarter, 14-3 halftime. Third quarter, Callaway with a 6-yard catch, 14-9. Now Michigan, with Horde scoring from a yard out, has taken the lead, 15-14. And it's third down and close to 11, or a little more than 11 actually, from the 25. He looks at Jackson. No chance to throw it. It was a coverage sack. There was nobody available. Ball is loose. But was he down?
And Peete is getting up awfully slowly. It looks like he was shaken up.
Michigan's ball.
Michigan has it. The fourth turnover of the ball game. Both coaches said turnovers would decide the ball game.
T.J. Osmond comes away with a football.
You were right, Keith. Downfield, there was nobody open. Good coverage by the Michigan secondary. Murray and Welburn and Arnold and Key. Good coverage. Pete's going to take off. But he tried to flip that ball.
You see Emmanuel. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Emmanuel was out there. He may have seen him, but they don't call it that way. It goes fumble. There's TJ on the bench. It is first down Michigan at the Southern California 32. Brown, the Horde. And he's right about 29.
Across the 30-yard line. Down to the 29. Caught by Jim Ryan.
Another look at the fumble.
Take a look at Peete. He's running here. This ball.
Now Milligan's going to get in there and get a play on him.
Yeah, it looked like he was at the very end. He was trying to push the ball out to 24, Emmanuel, and he was hit from behind.
But Milligan got him before he could get the motion. Second down and 8. Brown back to throw it. Williams gets a piece of it. And 55, Sayal runs him down. So it's a sack for Junior Sayal. He's another sophomore on that defense. And there's Rodney Peete on the sideline.
4 turnovers in the ball game, and talking with Chuck Stobert, the offensive coordinator, said when we've had problems with teams from the Midwest and the Big Ten or Notre Dame in their last regular season game, it's because we've turned the ball over, and they've turned it over 4 times here against Michigan.
Third down at about 16, 15 plus. They're in between the markers. Demetrius Brown looks deep, got some room on the sideline. He was past the line of scrimmage. He was past the line of scrimmage. Even these old eyes can see that. The light's beginning to kick in and take effect now as the sun has gone from the area of the Rose Bowl in the Arroyo Seco. Still showing on the San Gabriel Mountains, which frame the city of Pasadena.
You know, Larry Smith, one of the things that he said coming into this ball game is that Michigan is one of the most underrated football teams in the country. The ball being released and him being hit after the ball was gone.
He was a full step and a half or so over the line of scrimmage.
That's Horde, number 66.
It will be 4th down.
With the legal hit, the ball was released. He still had an opportunity to hit him. Nothing illegal about that. The penalty is for going over the line of scrimmage.
And it includes loss of down, so it's kicking time for Michigan as Mike Gillette comes in to punt on 4th down. Obviously, he's going to be looking for something high, drifting, or else knocking toward the corner. Affolter is the man on patrol back there for USC. Pooches it up, angles it toward the corner, and knocks it into the end zone. I know it's a funny word, but good pooch kickers are nice to have on your team. 11:21 to play in the football game. The 65th Rose Bowl game matched the Wolverines and the Trojans produced one of the most controversial calls in the history of the game. Southern California leading 7-3. Trojan tailback Charles White dove into the stack at the goal line. The ball came out, and Michigan's Jerry Meter had an apparent fumble recovery, but it was ruled that White had scored before losing the ball, and Southern California went on to win the game 17-10. Michigan quarterback Rick Leach had a career day, but the Wolverines would have been happier with a win. The crowd this time, better than 105,000. I want to tell you, that's a shaky-looking bunch up there. That's Charles Russell, the captain, Goodyear Blimp, Columbia, Barry Kirstein, our captain.
I don't know if I'd want to be flying with that crew or not.
Yeah, but they've been up there since dawn, so I imagine they're getting a little weary. All right, Southern California from the 20 now. Emmanuel, the tailback, he's back in. And he's got the ball, and he isn't going anywhere. He's going to lose 2 yards. And it's Mark Messner and Brent White.
By Eric Anderson.
Messner is the first one in there, number 60. Take a look at Messner right here as he slides around and gets the first piece and slows down the play, allows his friends to get there and make the tackle. Second half possessions, look at this. Each time Southern Cal has had the ball, only 3 plays, 2 fumbles, and 2 punts.
The old tango. Second down, 11. Loss of a yard. Rodney Peete back. Has good protection. Runs away from White. He's picked off. Rodney's pass is away, and it's caught. And you know who caught it. Affolter. First down.
Affolter and Peete, we talked about them working together so well. Affolter is here. The play, he's going this way. When he sees Peete start scrambling back, watch Affolter come back and make the play. It's like they're on the same wavelength. Everybody's going to the top of the screen, and Affolter says, wait a minute, he's coming back. Let me stop and come back to the quarterback. It's an outstanding play.
15-14, Michigan leads by a point. 10-19 to play in the ball game. First down, SC from their 37-yard line. Peete back to throw it. Runs away from the coverage, takes 1, takes 2, and goes down. Pick up of about 7. That first down they just picked up was their first down of the second half.
You have to give credit to the Michigan defense. Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, coming out the second half. Larry Smith having problems with his offense, but you got to give credit to the Michigan defense.
Michigan's got to hustle a man off, otherwise they get caught with 12. Southern California now, second down, long 3. Peete gives the ball to Emmanuel. He goes looking around and finds enough room to pick up the first down up around the 48-yard line.
Aaron Emmanuel to the 48-yard line where he's stopped by Mike Evans.
Michigan's defense, the points allowed in each of the quarters, by far the most points they've allowed is in the 4th quarter.
You know why? Because they don't have a whole lot of depth.
That's true.
And they get a little tired.
And I'm sure Bo remembers them giving up 31 in the second half, I believe it was, against Ohio State.
Yeah, Miami. Remember Miami?
Right.
Had them down 16 with 7 to play. That's a quick pop to the sidelines to John Jackson. And on first down, John gets about 6 yards on the catch. Clock running, 8:50 to play in the ball game. Michigan leading by 1, 15-14. They have shut down the Trojans in the second half. Quinn Rodriguez now probably going to start to crank up a little bit on the sideline just in case he's needed. Field goal would put SC back on top. On second down and 4. And that's a yard short of the first down as Bobby Abrams steps in to make the tackle on Bobby Abrams. And there's Rodriguez getting loose. Affolter goes out. Wellman is in. We got both tight ends in the ball game now on 3rd and 2. Penalty flag. Four Pac-10 officials, 3 Big Ten officials working the game. And the Michigan people applauding, so obviously it's against the Trojans.
Dead ball, full start, offense, still third down.
right side of your screen, the left guard, that's Barnes, number 68. Penalties today, Southern Cal with 7 for 55 yards.
Wellman leaves. Apholter is back for USC. Jackson and Apholter go to the wide spots. And it's 3rd and 7. Each pass is caught by Galbraith, the tight end. The first time he's seen the ball today. And he's got a first down at the Michigan 38-yard line.
Galbraith is going to go across field. Milligan is a linebacker. He's blitzing. 37 is Anderson. He lets him go, but number 27, Murray, has the coverage. It's just an excellent throw by Peete. There wasn't much room to get in. Take a look at the pressure from Messner. 2 guys looking at him, and he gets around him.
Inside, they give it to Leroy Holt. He's held up for a millisecond at the stack, then slides off of it and tumbles on down to the 35-yard line. Peete in the game so far, 12 of 16 for 99 yards.
Those are anemic numbers for Rodney Peete. He has averaged well over 200 yards passing per game.
2nd down, 7. Trojans. 7 minutes to play in the game. Michigan by 1. They're beating on him. Holt, big fullback, bangs his way down to the 30. I think Larry Smith is sensing now the Michigan defense lacking depth, getting tired. Remember, way back at the top of the day when we started, Martin Mester said that he hated grass, that it was very difficult to make the transition from playing on the artificial surface to grass. Difficult on your legs. You tended to get tired, and you sense that may perhaps be happening. 3rd down and 2. That won't do it. That little jitter step before he got up into the line of scrimmage didn't do much because Messner and Evans were able to recover from the initial contact and make the hit on it.
Well, they were in the backfield. Messner and Evans both, and caused him to stutter a little bit.
29-yard line.
Now they bring in Rodriguez, and this is a pretty good-sized field goal try as Emmanuel and the offensive folk come in. So this is going to be a ways. Ball is sitting back at the 37-yard line. Scott Fryer is in to do the snapping. Spurl will hold it. 47-yard field goal try, the longest of the year by Rodriguez. No! Wide right. He hooked it across the crossbars. Wouldn't go in for him.
Michigan 15, USC 14.
And so with 5 minutes and 28 seconds to play in the ball game, the Michigan Wolverines have a 1-point lead.
Snap is a little bit out away, and short.
So that spoiled the rhythm, and Rodriguez couldn't guide it through.
The explosive attack of Florida State beats the nation's #1 defense, Auburn. It's the USF&G Sugar Bowl, next on ABC Sports.
Larry Smith was an assistant with Bo Schembechler at Michigan for 6 years. Actually 4 at Michigan and 2 at Miami of Ohio. Smith was the All Pac-10 Coach of the Year the last 2 years. Schembechler, the winningest active coach, and the thing that really impresses me, never had a losing season in 26 years.
All right, Bunch and Horde are in the backfield for Michigan on first down from the 30. They're going to run it as long as they can. Missed in the backfield. Horde breaks it out big. He may go. Only Chris Hale can stop him, and he does. Horde shook off Junior Seau. And then it became a foot race to the corner, and Chris Hale ran him down at the 10.
Count the number of tackles he breaks here. One of the things that impressed, that's one right there. Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator, Chris Allen, coordinator for Southern Cal, was these backs break tackles. They don't come down easily. Just a great run by Leroy Howard.
61 yards, and Michigan leading 15-14 can now really smell the roses. Bowles is in. He's got it. And grabbed and brought down by Delmar Chesley about the line of scrimmage. Leroy Howard is the first running back to gain over 100 yards against Southern California this year. Howard has 15 carries, 134 yards.
Take a look at the linebackers on that previous play. 56 is Tulio. That's Bowles with a great block on him. Chesley, 53, is blocked by Huzar. I guess that was 74, and just some good running, but good blocking up front.
Saving tackle by Chris Hale. Penalty against Michigan, 5 yards, moves them back to the 15-yard line. As dusk settles now over the Arroyo Seca.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Old Dry Wash has turned into a great playground for the city of Pasadena. Howard is back at the tailback position. Bowles comes out. Howard has it. He's going again into the 5-yard line. Boy, they're getting some great blocking on the right side of that line right now. Huzar, Vitale, and Strepanak.
Put the stop on.
And Dingman, the left guard, pulling and going across. The running game for Michigan is really coming alive.
Second goal at the 5.
It'll be second down and goal for Michigan from the 5-yard line, and Howard has been the man.
It's the first time this year that an opponent has run for over 100 yards against Southern Cal.
They go to the wishbone. And Brown looking around with his people and their people, doesn't like it. Calls time. Well, wind it up. 4:01 to play, and it's second down and goal, Michigan at the Southern California 5-yard line. Numbers we talked about a while ago. In this half, Michigan has run for 183 yards. In the first half, they picked up only 40.
In fact, 8 of the 11 games that Southern Cal has played this year, they've held their opponents under 100 yards.
Six-man front for the Trojans. Brown gives it to Bowles. Bowles goes down right on the 5.
Tony Bowles.
This is a big game for Schembechler.
You got a penalty back up here at the 13-yard line. Personal foul, Trojans. I think that came in the melee after the tackle.
You can't lose your composure. It's a frustration. This team is not used to being run against. They're the second toughest in the country to run against this Southern Cal.
Well, it would be third down and goal, Bob, but a personal foul makes it first down.
See if we can see where it happens. It's got to come at the end of the play.
I think they might have called 55 for spearing. Yeah, could be either one of them, Chesley or Seau. But like you said, Bob, it's frustration.
Oh, yeah. That's frustration for Schembechler. We mentioned the winningest active coach never had a losing season, but he's not done well in bowl games. Only 4-11 overall in bowls.
Defense, automatic first down.
Well, he's only won one time in the Rose Bowl.
1-7 in the Rose Bowl, 4-11 overall, but in bowls. But as he mentioned to us, he's 4-4 in the 80s, so he's kind of changed his methods in the 80s, and he's done a little bit better.
So it's first down and goal. The ball is just inside the USC 2-yard line.
That is
3 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the game.
Big penalty. You give them 4 shots to get it in, whereas before they only had 1.
Forward. Right about the line of scrimmage.
Toward the ball carrier.
Tracy Butt came up from his strong safety spot. So he got a pretty good lick in on that tackle. Notre Dame has beaten West Virginia 34-21 in the Fiesta Bowl. And here we're watching the clock tick away down to 3 minutes with Michigan leading 15-14. Second down and goal from the Southern California 2. Trying to lock it up right here if they can. That's Bowles, and he is not going to score. He's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Delmar Chesley, 53, came flying in and took his legs away, and the rest of the guys pinned him down.
Dorman 73 and Bowles 32. Nobody blocks anybody. Ooh. Hey, where's all my friends up front?
Balls at the 2-yard line. Third and goal.
It is third and goal, and if anything, they have lost a little bit on each of the last 2 plays.
They go outside off the corner.
You gotta go outside, don't you? Brown rolls it out. He's running to his right. He's a left-hander. He's got a crack. He's at the goal. No, he didn't score. Delmar Chesley stopped him just short. And it'll be 4th and goal.
Well, there ain't no question what Bowles going to do in my mind. He's going to go for it. Take another look. Brown gets outside. Dingman, 78, is his protector. The coverage is there, but Brown can run. This is an outstanding play by Chesley, I believe it is, 53, to stop him before he gets in. Yeah, there's no question he was down.
Timeout. 1:57 to play.
Boitano, Hamilton, Thomas, Hamill. Figure skating's brightest stars compete Saturday on the return of ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Well, they've made up their mind. They come out on 4th down and goal from the 1, and Mike Gillette is not on the field. If they don't get it in the end zone, they leave USC down on their 1-yard line, 99 yards away.
Plus, it's a tough angle for a field goal.
Wishbone. Ford. Touchdown. I'll tell you, Bob Greasy called it. He says, I do believe he'll run something off tackle. That's exactly what he did.
The wishbone look, but it's power football. Pull the left guard, Dingman, 2 backs block, and he just barely got in.
That is really close, and now they're showering the field with pads they've been sitting on all day.
Well, this ball game is not over with.
You got 1:52 to play. And there isn't much to do except wait until they get tired of throwing the seat pads. And I'll bet you next year there won't be any free seat pads for anybody. They'll stop that.
That's right.
So all they're doing is, if they plan on coming back next year, is penalizing their bottom. Because they won't have that.
Well, you can be sure those were freebies, too, coming into the park.
Yep. Well, Larry Smith's scratching his head. You can't blame Larry because, as you talked a moment ago, Bob, it was a team 2 weeks ago, 2 games ago, that was looking at a possible national championship.
And I don't think they've recovered from the loss to Notre Dame. One of the coaches this week, a couple of them said some of the coaches haven't, and a lot of the players had not put that loss to Notre Dame behind them, and it certainly has showed in the way they've played here today.
Looked good in the second quarter.
That's the only time,
Yep.
second quarter. But this game isn't over yet. There's nearly 2 minutes. Yeah, nearly 2. If they can stop them here, they'll be 7 points behind.
And I thought the Michigan defense was showing some signs of fatigue, but the offense has given them a goodly bit of time to rest. Gillette for the extra point. It's very important. It'll make it an 8-point lead. It's good. So, Bo's happy right now, but this dance ain't over. 14. All right, USC will get the ball back off the kickoff with 1:52 to play. Michigan leading by 8, 22-14.
There are no exits through the tunnel off the playing field.
And you can be sure that the USC fans haven't given up yet, as long as they've got Rodney Peete on their side. He's done a lot of amazing things in his 4 years at Southern Cal.
Calvin Holmes, and Hopkins.
That's a short kick. It's taken by Marcus Hopkins, who is a defensive back, and a penalty flag goes down. Marcus is the last one of the three they wanted to handle the ball. He gets back to about the 25-yard line, but let's see about what the man in the white hat has to say. Holding against the Trojans. We'll have the MVPs for Chevrolet and the end of the ball game, with Chevrolet donating a $1,000 scholarship in each player's name to their respective universities. And right now, Larry Smith is doing the lecturing. Bo's had his time. Now it's Larry's turn.
Well, he was not happy about that holding penalty on the kickoff return.
He was not happy about the personal foul call either. He's been simmering over that. Ball comes back on the holding call to the 14-yard line, and that's where USC's got to start with 1:47 to play. Out of the shotgun, Peete. Good protection, comes underneath that holder, throws a little bit behind him, and Eric can't hold it.
Pete's pass incomplete, intended for number 42, Eric Asholder.
It is second down and 10.
It's got
1:41.
two timeouts remaining. The important thing is you need to conserve some time, so every pass that you throw incomplete is going to take up some of that time.
Hubs it down the middle. Jackson hauls it in, trying to get a block, but he will have a first down at the 25. If John could have moved a little bit, he'd have gotten away from Alex Marshall and picked up some help. Trojans going without a huddle.
Of course, the clock stops. In college football, every time you make a first down, it has been stopped since he was tackled. So they're at the line of scrimmage, gives them an opportunity to call their play while they move the chain, so they don't really lose that much time.
1:30. Down the middle, Wellman. What a great catch between defenders by Gary Wellman. Arnold and Murray had him covered, and he pulled it in.
It was a nice job by Peete to look off the free safety. 27 Murray should have been there, but he was looked off by Rodney Peete. Got there too late.
And it's a first down, Southern California at the Michigan 38-yard line with 1:22 to play. 8-point lead for Michigan, 22-14.
Peete has got a strong arm. Was the all-packed-in third baseman. You know he can throw the football.
As soon as the chains are down, Gordon Reese will wind the clock. There it goes, 1:20. Pass is caught down at the 26-yard line by Wellman. That's another first down. So the clock stops again at 1:12 to play in the ball game. 27 make it.
Rip Wellmore defending for the Wolverines.
So Gary Wellman has come up with 2 clutch catches in this possession. John Jackson the other. I think, going to be Southern California. False start.
Dead ball. Illegal snap. Offense. Still first down.
The 10th USC penalty. Moves the ball back. 5 yards to the 32. It's first down and 15. Time remaining 1 minute and 6 seconds. Michigan by 8 points.
Smith saying about Rodney the other day that not only does he have the poise and charisma, but the competitiveness. He just doesn't want to lose. He lost this Rose Bowl game last year, and they just can't even think about losing 2 in a row. And
well,
he's staring it in the face right now.
He's 0 for bowls because he was a loser at the Florida Citrus Bowl.
Yes, he is. An outstanding competitor.
Parkinson comes back into the offensive front. Wellman trots off the field. Jackson back in.
Nice young man, too, Rodney Peete. Just all the charisma, all the time for you. Very popular on campus. Be a lot more popular if he gets a touchdown in right here.
They've moved the clock back, Bob, and I think this is really significant. They gave him 6 more seconds. He went back to 1:12. It's now running. Peete rolls it out. Buying some time. Penalty flag down. Pass is incomplete, intended for Ricky Irvins. And you may very well have another holding call coming here against Southern California.
Pass incomplete, intended for Ricky Irvins. Covered by Phil Wilbur.
Yep. So they get 5 yards for the illegal snap. They get 10 more yards for holding. Now you got exactly 1 minute to play in the game.
The rollout.
Holding. Offense. Still first down.
63 in the center is Leggett. The reason for him to be holding when the quarterback is rolling away from you.
Move the ball back to 43 yards.
See that look on Larry Smith's face?
Yeah,
he may make him practice tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's glaring at the officials as much as anything else.
Could be, yeah. Ball's all the way back now at the 42. It's still first down.
First and 26.
On first and 26, some pressure on Peete, but he steps away from it. Gets it off, intercepted by John Milligan. And that'll do it. John Milligan, an inside linebacker. I don't think Peete ever saw him, and Milligan stepped in and put it in this bucket. That's 5 Southern California turnovers.
Yeah.
Michigan owns the football at their own 44 with only 50 seconds to play. Southern California with 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, here's Milligan right here. As Pete's going to roll out, the receivers are going to come across. Milligan's going to be in this area, and he's just not going to see him. He tries to throw it over him. Now, right here is Milligan, right here. Just picks it off, just doesn't see him, tries to get it to the receiver in back of him. It's a tough way for Rodney Peete to end his career. And for Michigan, finally another Rose Bowl win.
Brown now with the ball.
Stop the clock with only 46 seconds to play.
The Rose Bowl, brought to you by Honda, who invite you to test drive the Civic 4-door at your local Honda dealership today.
The crowd today, 101,688. Rodney Peete there with his head down, had that kind of a day. That's Gene Arrington, 88. Backup quarterback Pat O'Hara alongside of him. But Rodney's going to leave his collegiate career without a bowl win. USC with 1 timeout remaining as Brown turns and gives to Leroy Horde, who is caught behind the line of scrimmage by Junior Seau. Southern Cal spends its last timeout. That comes at 42 seconds to play in the game. And there is another senior who has not tasted victory in a bowl game, Eric Affolter. 63 catches on the regular season, set a career pass receiving record at USC. The man who made the biggest play perhaps of the game to seal it, number 30, that's J.J. Milligan, a junior from Trenton, Michigan. The most valuable player in today's 75th Rose Bowl game, Leroy Horde of Michigan. 19 carries, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I think Leroy likes to see us come to town, Bob, because every time we see him, he gets a big day.
He's just a sophomore, as is Tony Bowles, the other running back in the backfield. Bunch is a junior. Both of these teams very young.
Yep.
Going to have a lot of good players back next year. Of course, Southern Cal is going to lose their main man, the runner-up in the Heisman Trophy, their All-American, the Player of the Year, Rodney Peete, but they're going to have to replace their quarterback in Affolter, but they've got everybody else coming back.
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, you look at it, they just really don't lose Messner. Of course, that's a big loss defensively, but both quarterbacks, Taylor and
Brown are back.
Brown are. Yep. Bo's coaching. He's coaching for next year. Brown caught behind the line of scrimmage. Southern California with no more timeouts. Now the clock is going to tick merrily away if you are a Michigan faithful, and it'll sound like the pound of doom if you're a Trojan. Larry Smith. So much of Schembechler's philosophy, part of his coaching.
He said the other day, when you coach with someone so long, you even start thinking like them and talking like them and your mannerisms.
Michigan spends its last timeout. Mike Gillette walked out there. Maybe he counted bodies and didn't have 11.
Now, I think what the problem is, you have 25 seconds to snap the ball, and he knew that he had more than 25 seconds, so he knew he had to snap the ball one more time.
Well, there's the difference between the 25-second clock and the game clock. 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to punt the ball here. You just need to snap it.
That's all.
And make sure you don't get tackled before 2 seconds expire.
Well, Michigan regained the lead. They led at the first quarter 3-0. Trojans led at halftime 14-3, then 14-9, and then Michigan took the lead in the fourth quarter 15-14, made it 22-14 as Horde scored both the fourth quarter touchdowns. And that's where we are, 22-14. Southern California cannot stop the clock. All Michigan has to do is snap it one more time. And they'll get their second Rose Bowl win under Bo Schembechler.
Bo, he's got to be happy. They're discussing something, but the 20 years he's been at Michigan, 19 of those years he's won at least 8 ball games, so he's been consistent. It's over.
The Michigan Wolverines have defeated Southern California 22-14 in the 75th Rose Bowl game. We'll be back in a moment.
Coach Bo Schembechler hasn't had too many chances to savor the sweet taste of Rose Bowl victory, but tonight, Bo, I imagine you're going to take a mighty big swig out of that chalice.
Well, I'm sure everybody thought when we were down 14-3 at half that we didn't have a chance, but our feeling was that we hadn't played well the first half and that we could score on this team and we can defense this team, and all we have to do is to go out and prove it. And this is a great group of guys. They came back and showed what they could do.
In the past, Michigan teams that have been behind haven't had the capacity to come from behind. But you have a much more versatile offense this year, it appears.
We opened it up a lot in this game. We did a lot of things different, missed some opportunity. Actually, the truth of the matter is, Mike, we shouldn't have had it this close. But we didn't capitalize and made some mistakes in the kicking game. But as it all turned out, we won, so it's all right.
Defensively superb in the second half. Are you proud of or happy the way your team contained Rodney Peete? He did score twice, but contained him pretty well.
I thought we did a good job on Peete. He's a great football player, make no mistake. I thought my defense was tremendous. They put a lot of pressure on him and, you know, shut him out the second half. That's why we won the game.
Well, Coach, the victors go to spoils, and here to promote present the Rose Bowl championship game trophy, the Pasadena Tournament of Roses, Mr. Jack Bigger. Jack?
Well, as President of Tournament of Roses, I'd like to present you our brand new 75th anniversary memorial
Thank you, Jack.
trophy.
Not a youth.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
On behalf of some great Wolverines, let's go, baby. I accept this trophy. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Well done. Okay, come on. Keith.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. The USF&G Sugar Bowl is coming up next. Dan Deerdorf is going to be needling Frank Gifford all night long as the Wolverines win the ball game. The Chevrolet most valuable players for Michigan, Leroy Horde, who was the MVP of the Rose Bowl game with 142 yards. Southern California, Rodney Peete, 15 of 21. That is his lowest passing total of the year, 138 yards, and ran for 2 touchdowns. So the Michigan band is playing Hail to the Victors, and I guess Bo Schembechler, probably the happiest man I've ever seen right now.
And well, he should be. He's had many a times down on this field where he hasn't played well and he hasn't come away a winner. You know, you look at Bo Schembechler with the dark glasses and he's always got his mouth open yelling. You kind of get the wrong impression of him. He is a great man. The players love him. Yeah. They really do. You talk about the doghouse, but the players become better players. You know, boys become men under his program. And you know what he said there? He said, I accept this trophy on behalf of a bunch of great Wolverines. And it's nice to see Bo Schembechler back in the winning circle at the Rose Bowl.
And it's a young team that returns most of its people next year. So when you start thinking about what's down the road for Michigan, you can very easily think about next year, but certainly you can think about next year for Southern California. Rodney Peete's going to be gone, but they've got a young freshman coming in named Todd Marinovich they think can be one of their great